me how you're set up. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better. Crisis, prices, don't tell us. T4, blood, check levels. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better. Wu-Tang Clan, how my angels get up. Life on life, tell me how you're set up. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better. Crisis, prices, don't tell us. T4, blood, check levels. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better.
Come a little bitch, ain't done little bitch. 101 little bitch, ain't nothing like me. Open your eyes for a second, I'm the high-end legend on the guidance that you need. Rolling on sevens on a regular, now I don't think you're ready for the revolution that I bring. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot, found a youth out.
Hold up.
Come a little bitch, ain't done little bitch. 101 little bitch, ain't nothing like me. Open your eyes for a second, I'm the high-end legend on the guidance that you need. Rolling on sevens on a regular, now I don't think you're ready for the revolution that I bring. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot, found a youth out like the
Wu-Tang Clan, how my angels get up. Life on life, tell me how you're set up. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better. Crisis, prices, don't tell us. T4, blood, check levels. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better.
Images, iris, limitless, priceless, sunrise energy shining, Aisha, silence, the brightness, skyless. Images, iris, limitless, priceless, sunrise energy shining, Aisha, silence, the brightness, skyless. I've been holding you forever. I've been making it out better. I don't know if you're nonsense, but I hold you back when you hold me back. And I know that it's better, and I feel it for forever. How it makes you feel better. How it makes you feel. How it makes you feel.
Come a little bitch, ain't done little bitch. 101 little bitch, ain't nothing like me. Open your eyes for a second, I'm the high-end legend on the guidance that you need. Rolling on sevens on a regular, now I don't think you're ready for the revolution that I bring. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot, found a youth out.
Hold up.
Come a little bitch, ain't done little bitch. 101 little bitch, ain't nothing like me. Open your eyes for a second, I'm the high-end legend on the guidance that you need. Rolling on sevens on a regular, now I don't think you're ready for the revolution that I bring. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot, found a youth out like the
Wu-Tang Clan, how my angels get up. Life on life, tell me how you're set up. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better. Crisis, prices, don't tell us. T4, blood, check levels. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better.
Images, iris, limitless, priceless, sunrise energy shining, Aisha, silence, the brightness.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Man, oh man. So, I wasn't planning on doing a stream today, but I didn't want to fall asleep because my sleep schedule's been really shit. And so I was like, you know what? I guess I'll do a little stream to keep me up, because if I was gonna keep scripting, I would have fell asleep. So, we got some things to take a look at today, some videos to react to, and I'll hop in VC. I kind of want to get some general opinions on a few different stuff. We'll see what people think, and that's why I want to name this one Layer 3 Edition, because I kind of want to see what people, like, just the casual Joe thinks about it. So, yeah, that's what we'll be doing. Update should be this week. Got a few different things on the horizon that hopefully make some things feel better, you know what I'm saying? Some new nice stuff. Obviously, there's always going to be some balancing, good amount of fixes, new PvE buffs. That should be nice, specifically for Bloodrend, and a lot of other just like talents that never really did anything. Yeah, just a few different things here. Some gank meta nerfs. How much balancing? Mainly balancing for Overworld. There's some pretty big ones, mainly addressing heavy and ganks. We'll see. Heavy regeneration builds, fish builds a little bit. We'll see. So yeah, but there's two videos I want to take a look at. Mainly one, actually. Dude, get yourself a nice cold fucking water bottle, chat. Oh man. You say you're gonna make a new type of ghost boss? Nah, I just well, I am working on a boss, but I'm just waiting. I'm still waiting for assets. No, I was just saying I got inspired by Ghost King. That's all. Not that it was gonna be a ghost boss. Here's some nice hot tea, maybe. Yeah, no, I'm pretty tired. Don't have my usual streamer energy, but I'll try and give what's it called? Solid reaction, because obviously you guys know I just love a oh wait, I didn't realize. Damn. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a shorter stream, but we're like I said, we're gonna definitely get something good here. So let's first. I've seen a lot of people ask me, Punchy video. This game needs to learn from its competition. Not even close. Ooh.
I don't see it.
You love a thumbnail like that, man. You just love a thumbnail like that. All right, let's take a look. So, got a Punchy video here. The game needs to learn. It's probably related to Arcane Odyssey. Deep Oaken Sea is pretty shit. No shocker there.
Some of you know me as one of Deep Oaken's biggest glazers, but even I'll admit the game needs to learn from its own mistakes and
let's see what we gotta learn.
A lot of players frame Deep Oaken as being in direct competition with Arcane Odyssey, but honestly, I don't see it that way. The two games chase completely different aspects of gameplay, and that's exactly why this comparison kind of misses the point. And that's exactly where the conversation gets interesting, because instead of asking which game is better, what does it do better, it makes more sense to ask what they can learn from one another. Even though both games lean into the sea-based exploration sort of genre, they're fundamentally different experiences. Regardless, genre differences don't stop them from learning from each other.
They are big differences.
I'm looking at the
it's too loud. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. Let's let Punchy speak.
This from the perspective of a new player jumping into Arcane Odyssey after its return, and even I can admit there are some ideas here for Deep Oaken to absorb. And before we dive into that core topic, there's a few small details worth highlighting first. The main thing I want to focus on today is how both games approach sea-based exploration. But before we dive into that, let's run through a few honorable mentions.
There's not even really sea-based exploration in Deep.
First, that Deep Oaken can also learn from. Money. The world revolves around money, so why is this game different? Something a lot of players tend to overlook in any game is the economy, the way trading and item exchange actually functions between players. You know, that's pretty important. Sure, sometimes it's just a shortcut to avoid grinding items, but that doesn't make it irrelevant. Trading itself is in a pretty weird spot. It's sloppy with risk involved, but most of the time it can work. The real issue isn't the system, it's how little presence it actually has in the game overall.
Interesting chat. Would you guys agree? Do you guys want more? You want economy to have more of a presence in Deep Oaken? Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think the game would be fine even if everything was kind of easier to obtain. We had a state where like everything was kind of at arm's length, right? There was really nothing rare. Everything was kind of attainable. But I know, see what happens is during that era, and actually this was the reason why I even started even adding any rare stuff to the game. There was always like a crew of players who reminisced about the old days of enchants and the old days of wanting to trade up or grind up for something, right? I mean, I think either way, I think Deep would be fun either with or without an economy, to be honest. I don't think that's a core necessary thing that we need to like hammer down for Deep. It's like if there's trading, okay. If there isn't trading, okay, right? I think the way I viewed it is as long as 90% of the game's content is obtainable without needing it to be like the god grind, I think it's fine regardless. I think if it was, I think the biggest problem with Verse 1 enchants was like such a major part of build making back then, right? Like enchant, and also enchants were a lot more powerful. That like when you didn't have one, it was just like you could really feel the difference. And also enchant, like they had like it was like 4 different versions of RNG stacked on top of each other. What weapon it was, what enchant it was, whether it was an armor or weapon enchant, and you know, obviously, what's it called? The stars on the weapon as well. And so it's like yeah, there was just so many different things where I feel like these days it's a lot more simple. It's like, oh, you get the relic, you're done. You know, there's not like, oh, was it a 2-star mantle that has this other form of RNG on it? There's no like pips that you have to roll anymore. Everything is pretty.
So, for example,
It's like once you get it, you
if
get
you
it.
wanted to find a 3-star
Which I think
damage
is a lot
shatter
better
katana
personally.
perfect for your build, you wouldn't really look in game. You'd hop on Discord to try to find a trade. So it's difficult, but it should be hosted entirely in game. In games like Arcane Odyssey and even Roblox from last year, the devs made great use of an
Yeah, I
auction
saw-
house system. In
They
Arcane
I remember this was actually once brought up. Funny enough, they have like an auction system that's like Robux as well, and I don't know.
Odyssey especially, the auction
Regular
house lets
auction,
players sell
I don't
items
think it'd be
safely
that
and
deep if they
globally
did do
using
it.
a universal currency. Unfortunately, right now, Deepoken doesn't have anything like that yet, and I think a true player-driven market with real supply and demand could be insanely interesting. New items could spike in value, others could crash, and the entire economy would be shaped
Items would crash. Probably crowns. That's like the best thing we have. I don't know. How much y'all think a Moon's Eye would go for crown wise? Put in chat. Be like, I don't know. I actually have no clue how much they'd go for. I feel like there would be like such fucking high values that you'd have to have like 999 fucking crowns. Not even one while we use crowns. Bro, because like that's what I'm saying though. I thought about it's like maybe it'd be like, oh, like 10 Moon's Eyes is like equal to 3 crowns to some people. I don't know. Crowns is all, yeah, crowns is, I don't know. Notes, you definitely can't do notes. But crowns, I feel like are, you can, they're like more, there's less things you can get them from. Crowns are too easy to get though. Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad reason as to, I mean, I don't know. I don't think, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep listening to Punchy.
by the community instead of staying up for interpretation. A universal auction system feels like something the game genuinely needs, and honestly, we already have a forgotten crown currency sitting around doing nothing, and this would finally give it some purpose.
It would.
Sticking with the top.
Would I say it's a must-have? I think it'd just be a nice extra addition, to be honest. But like I said, I think for the most part, like for me at least, I think. And this is why, like, even eventually, like, World Trip and Parasol stuff, like, that stuff's probably not going to be made, like, super rare as much anymore. I mean, it'll be different, but it's like, I think Deepoken's one of those games where it's kind of tough to say. I think, you know, you have the people who like it, but it's kind of satisfying being able to kind of get everything yourself. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for the 2 Canadian. Thanks, Slider, this update, bro. I've been asked, bro. I've asked. Thanks for the 10, Supa. Lev, I've been sold a dream. I agree. I agree, bro. Levitt, purple name, something, bro. I haven't taken a look at Iron Vow. I think Iron Vow Editions is just gonna come with another update. Hopefully more bosses. I think the game would really benefit from player run stuff like that. It doesn't have much of player interaction like that. That's an interesting argument. Maybe it's like a better way to get people to, well, I guess it wouldn't really be player interaction because you would just be at like a market area. I mean, I guess. I don't know. There's like a few different things. There would have to be more things that are, I don't know, more things that I guess you would need a reason to use a trading system for. Like realistically, if all, like, okay, I know a lot of people will get on my head for like saying like I had a lot of rare stuff, right? But like if you actually think about like what are some actual things that are like you would need to trade for, right? Doomscale, got the Parasol part, you have Mantle of Enmity, got the Duke Relic, you got maybe the Titus armor. Okay, those are like top, I'd say. Even then, and some of those stuff, yeah, like I'd say those like maybe top 5. Maybe I'm missing something. There could be maybe like smaller stuff like some of the specific Titus loot or like a specific legendary. But I feel like outside of those like 5, maybe there's a few more outside of that. Outside of a few select items, I'd say most content you can get without like a super long grind. I feel like a lot of it's just been reduced over the years. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on what we want to do.
Topic of stagnation, Deep Oaken's job and profession system barely exists, and when it does, it rarely serves a real purpose. Sure, some players pick up cooking for small buffs, or fish for free loot, or even grab the repair talents, but none of it meaningfully impacts your build. Meanwhile, Arcane Odyssey actually leans into professions with a real progression system, one that shapes what you can craft, sell, and specialize in. That's definitely something that Deep Oaken is missing. For a game built around RPG progression and build making, profession
Quite Quick had a good idea for that. It was like the profession talents. You could probably take that.
Should slowly ramp up and genuinely influence how your character grows.
Question is, what type of influence are we talking though? Let's see what he says.
Maybe that'll change someday, whether it's a chef-style oath or some legendary fishing gear. But
okay, like I said, like what are we talking here? Are we talking like, oh, I get like a fish mantra? Do I get something that's actually like, is it going to be meta? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much does it influence, or is it just going to be niche? I feel like what specific buff? I think people would be happy as long as it's something though, right? Like you get a fishing gear. Okay, I don't know. Chat, y'all give me some ideas. Like, what would fishing gear do? I don't know. Maybe it's like some specific buff with golden swordfish or something like that, right? Or like blacksmith. They can like fucking, it's like rogue lineage blacksmith where like they get ores and like ding ding, like amplify their weapon. I mean, I don't know, we'll see. It'd be nice though. I do think professions would be nice. I feel like they need a little bit more than just like I get a little buff here and there. Because I don't see. Roblox got me like 32k Robux in 2 weeks. People would buy anything instantly, even if you're over. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I don't know. Like I said, for me, it just depends. Like, I know it's like. Yeah, I guess it just depends. Maybe it's. I think Quack Quick's idea was like you just get it as you do your regular prog anyway. And I mean, some new quests would be nice, but if they do have a bigger effect in prog, like we'll see. It just depends. It depends on how much we're adding to prog and builds on top of that. Because then it's like now you have another slot to your oath. It's kind of like how there's like the rogue subclass. Hey, what's up, Max? Jaco incoming. So true. Yeah, it's like now it's like, oh, I have a flame charm Dawnwalker chef build, right? It's like, you know how there's like an extra word added onto that. Oh, I have a fucking ice dagger blacksmith build. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I mean? Like, how far are we gonna push that profession? Will it actually matter in build making? That's a big one. Do you think it should actually matter? Like, do you think that should be like something you add on to the end of your shits? Oh yeah, I have ice dagger blacksmith. I have a fisherman fucking fish build. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think I don't know, we'll see. That's what I said, it just depends on the buffs. I think it could be interesting, but it's like if it's too much, if it's too strong, then it's like it becomes a vital part of build making, and then you have to go like a subclass or a profession, or you're missing out. Which you have to see. How's the script Ryan going? Man, I don't know. When was the last time you asked? Because tell me real quick, when was the last time you asked? Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot has changed. So I like that. A lot has changed. I've been scripting every day. 3-5 months ago. So you're here when I was a dev then? Okay.
It needs to matter, but until then, yeah, I'm not getting a job in Deep Oaken. But those are some surface level details I just wanted to cover. The real difference shows up once you step off the shore and into the open sea. Yeah, it's about time to discuss sea exploration. Both Deep Oaken and Arcane Odyssey's world revolve around islands and travel between them. Each game has a system in place for travel, but both games couldn't feel anything alike. Both games make use of randomized sea events, roaming ships, encounters, and islands, but in Arcane Odyssey, none of this feels static. So NPC caravans and pirate ships don't just exist,
They
they
do have
kind of
way
react to the
better
player. They circle you, try to escape, fight back, and even repair mid-combat. It feels dynamic and fluid, like the world is alive, like the NPCs are playing by the same exact rules as the player. Those adaptive behaviors add a much needed layer of depth to these random encounters, turning them from simple events into something that actually pulls the player into the world. On the other hand, Deep Open Sea events feel a little bit more limited in how they play out. Most, if not all of the ships you encounter are static, and instead of reacting or escaping, they usually end up becoming simple boarding fights, almost like grounded combat that just happens to take place on the water.
I think one thing is, man, dude, I think one thing I'm noticing is, like, when you fall in the sea in Arcane Odyssey, bro, you got to get out, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it might be better if we also, like, kind of take that aspect where it's like, yo, don't get off your ship, bro. Emphasize the ship a little bit more. Swimming kind of fucking sucks. Also, water fights are pretty shit. That's why I'm nerfing water builds this patch. What I'll say is this, though, chat. I think one big difference, I brought this up when I was discussing this with Rag, about, because he was playing Arcane Odyssey and I was watching him in a stream. And I thought about it. One big difference, please inform me if I'm wrong, okay? But I feel like with Arcane Odyssey, a big part is that I think for a majority of playtime, at least when I was playing, you kind of have 1 to 2, maybe 3, but you kind of have a very small amount of characters that you are actively progging from start to finish. It's a long journey. Deep Oaken is like shorter prog that you're repeating a ton of times. And I think for that, I think one thing I would say is if we were to have like a fleshed out sea system, I think it would be nice to have some of that stuff in the current sea, like current Etrian Eastern Limited. But I feel like because of how Deep Oaken almost kind of has been and is, that we would need to have a greater how do I say it? Like for example, the like Void Sea expeditions would be where you would see that shine a lot more, because it feels like there is more to go to. Or I feel like if we had that in current Deep, because there is never like from Arcane Odyssey, it's like you're going from island to island to island. It's like you're continuously progging. Where like Deep, you don't really need to visit that many different islands. You see what I'm saying, right, chat? It's like you can kind of grind out 1 or 2 spots. You're kind of good to go. That doesn't, like I said, that doesn't mean I think that it can't be added to Eastern or Etrian, but it's like I feel like it would feel so much more fleshed out, or we can make it feel actually better if it was actually like, for example, like dude, like Arcane Odyssey, when you go in the fucking Dark Sea, bro, like that's peak in my opinion. That's what I would want the most. Obviously, it doesn't mean we can't have like ships that like float around and like in Eastern Etrian, but you guys kind of get what I'm saying, right? That's why I brought up that example where like Deep progression is, I feel like, a lot shorter of where you hit the end point. That like even if we had, for example, like, you know, it would definitely be more immersive though. It needs to be added, but even if it was there, it would feel like there still isn't much point to go there, if that makes sense. Unless, you know, obviously we gave it like a shit ton of progression. It was like the new best method. But I feel like it'd be nice at first, but then people would end up ignoring it because it doesn't end up actually feeling like it's needed to go out to sea. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't actually feel like you need to actually go out on sea. That's why I want a majority of that stuff to actually be in the Void Sea. Because but when I played Arcane Odyssey, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I think I was, when I was streaming the game, I stopped progging and I deadass just went out to the Dark Sea to explore. Because that is what excited me the most. And I feel like for Deep players, they want to explore the sea as well. Like, yes, it'd be nice for it to be an Eastern Etrian, but I don't give a fuck about Eastern Etrian. I want to go explore some new islands. When I'm watching Arcane Odyssey, they're going from a new island to a new island. So it's like when you interact with those things along the way, it's not a repetition. It's new. Do you see what I'm saying? Where I feel like Deep, people have done the same loop so many times. That's like, even if we were to throw it into the current Eastern Etreat Luminant, it wouldn't have as big of an impact. Okay, it's there, but like, how much am I actually going to interact with it in the current Deepwoken in gameplay loop? So that's why it's like, it's not that at least for me, it's not that it's like never been like oh, well, I don't think we can. It's more like when we get to Void Sea, that's what we need to do. I think it's just that cut and dry. I think it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, at least for me. But yeah, I really want to save that for like a Void Sea sort of update, because we can actually give it a little bit more purpose. And I feel like also just having like a nice end game exploration area. It was fun when I did in Arcane Odyssey when I went out in Darksea. And I was like watching videos and like they have like this fucking giant tentacle monster. Bro, I just feel like, bro, the thing about Deep as well is like, bro, I think the biggest thing is like, there is also so much opportunity to grow, because like the sea combat has also always been like unfinished. You see what I mean? Unfinished. So if there is a reason to go out to the Void Sea, that is like every build needs to eventually hit the Void Sea up, right? You got even randomized islands, and then also like I think just better ship PvE. I think that's important. I do think that's important. I think at a certain point, yes, you have like the obviously Deepwoken combat, people fuck with Deepwoken combat, right? But I feel like the ship PvE, PvP has always been kind of lame. And so I feel like if anything, that would need to definitely get a revamp as well. But even then, it's like sell to an island, there's a new boss at the island. Always a reason to go to that island out or go and explore it. But like I said, I've done this yap before, chat. I'm not gonna repeat old yaps that I've done. Like I said, I've kept a mental note. I've never forgotten it though, chat. I've never forgotten it though. Never forgotten it though. Okay, it's something that I think we eventually need to do. Thanks for the 5 Canadian. 1 purple name dropping a being regional every month, so and I got 0 reward. Probably whenever we add another update to Valve Iron and give it like a little bit more. I'll discuss Valve Iron a little bit later.
Massive opportunity for Deepwoken to bridge the gap between sailing and combat and turn those ocean encounters into something that takes full advantage of how fun the game already is. On top of this, Arcane Odyssey's boat combat gives players a lot more control. There's cannons, mortar,
more
and
to do.
shot switching, different cannonball effects,
different
magically
cannons,
huge shots, ramming into other boats, and even bracing for impact. I'd say it's not over the top or groundbreaking.
It doesn't even, yeah, exactly. It doesn't even, there's just more mechanics to actually build a boss off of, bro. Like I feel like it'd be kind of fire if it's like, you know, you can bring like fucking like thunder tuned like cannonballs, right? And you're fighting a boss that's weak to thunder. It's like that prep. I feel like there's not really that much of that in Deep anyway. I feel like that'd be a huge plus.
But it adds texture to each encounter since you'll be in the ocean for the majority of your playtime. And this is exactly where Deepwoken could really take the idea further. With the current game's wide range of attunements and status effects, each element could interact with ships in unique ways, turning boat combat into something elemental.
What I will say though, chat, I'm gonna keep it a bean. This is me being honest. I think for the update like this to drop, it probably would take a good amount of time. Because here's what I'll say. All right. For me, I don't want it just to be like we drop the update and there's 2 new bosses and it's like it needs that. I want like actually I'm not gonna say a number. At least there needs to be like a solid bare minimum that's like. I mean, come on, bro, chat. No, there's no excuses. No, there's actually no excuses. No excuses. Nah. And there will never, at least for me, there will never be a big update. If there's an update besides Layer 2, there will be guaranteed more than 2 bosses. That is a must. If I don't do it, chat, bro, you can feel free to fucking kill me, bro. I'm serious.
And kind of build.
No, actually, no. There's because I was playing around with Shogun and Rack, and I'm like, bro, it's fun making PvE. It is very fun making PvE, and but no, dude, ship PvE though, man, that one's a doozy, bro. That one's a doozy. Nah, it would definitely need a boat rework. Cause like, bro, look at World Serpent. That was supposed to be like a boat kind of ish boss, and bro, look, most motherfuckers just don't enjoy fighting it. And I also feel like that's just due to just how boats move and feel, bro. Like, I feel like you could just slightly adjust the move kit, maybe add a new move, right? Change up how some of the world support works. But at the end of the day, fighting on boats to begin with, not very fun. So trying to make a boss for a system that's already not fun, very difficult to do efficiently. Deepwoken PvP and PvE base, just the parry dodge, so much you can do with it. And that's why I think going forward, it's gonna be like it was fun making like different moveset for the bosses. There's a lot they could do. But boats, there's like 2 things you can do. Sail, okay, 3 things, right? You can like raise or lower the sails. You can like sail forward and backward and turn, and you can shoot a cannon. That's it, bro. That's literally, there's 3 things, bro. It needs to be like 10. Then I feel like you could have like some Deepwoken shit, like literally like a fucking I'm not gonna get into it actually.
Based.
Let me not.
Now that we've covered those ideas, it's finally time to talk about the Void Sea and what's really missing there. Right now, the Void Sea in Deepwoken serves maybe 1, 2, at most 3 real purposes, and that limitation really holds back what it could be. You head into the Void Sea for a few specific reasons. Maybe you need a whirlpool into the depths, you're hunting Kaido for hockey, or you're traveling to places like the Silent Heart Boat or Moon's Eyrie, but there's no real reason besides that. And if the devs were aiming for a Void Sea kind of like the Void Century, like it's fully empty from One Piece, then yeah, it definitely achieves that goal, but beyond those destinations, there's absolutely no point in going there. There are no real threats, no moving points of interest, nothing that reacts to you or even invites exploration. It feels less like a mysterious ocean and more like a space that just isn't being used yet. In my opinion, the Void Sea could become a real loot extraction zone, something where preparation matters and risk actually rewards the player. Let's take a look at Arcane Odyssey, because
hell no, bro. We'll wait until it like unlags it. Is your code saucy or still chopped? It's gone better. It's gone a fair bit better. Yes, I do yes, you should learn OOP. But yeah, no, it's been pretty good, man. It's been pretty solid. At least I've got a lot more accustomed with working on Deep, and I've been able to fix a lot more bugs, which previously I might not have been able to, and just start looking to how certain things work. So yeah, that's great. It's just, for me, it's just like just getting better, bro. Everybody else on the squad has like years of experience, so it's like I gotta step it up. That's why. Chat. Also, rule for 2026, though I kind of did this for end of 2025, but I'm gonna keep up the streak. I have to, like, if I'm home, at least a few hours a day scripting. It's like routine.
Their endgame truly nails this idea. Reaching the Dark Sea, just like the Void Sea, is simple in both games.
Thank you for the bitch membership.
And you're in dangerous waters. But while Deepwoken's Void Sea feels mysterious and almost peaceful, the Dark Sea is the complete
fuck-ass lionfish behind it, bro.
Rain blinds your screen, lightning strikes non-stop, tornadoes drag your ship
it's
away,
awful,
and
bro,
massive
it's
waves smash
atmosphere,
your boat
bro.
to pieces.
On
top of that, these hazards
dangerous.
can become elemental storms, waves, and typhoons. They all gain unique effects.
I think a big thing is making it to where, like, when you sail in Void Sea, like, you can't be on your phone. That has to be like a big one, bro. Because even if you're going from island to island, the fact is, like, it's engaging, and it's like, especially if it's like, for example, imagine in order. Actually, no, it depends on how we do it. Depends on how fun we make it, but it's like, bro, imagine you still have to escape, right? Maybe there's like a whirlpool at the end, or some. I'm not the most in tune with the lore, but some shits where it's like you make it to the end of the Void Sea and you can kind of get out, but there's like kind of like a final stretch that you have to sail through, and that bitch is mad dangerous. But you got good loot. You can't have the loot until you escape. So the nigga on the ship, bro, he better know how to drive. Because if he crash, if the boat sinks, that's all y'all loot basically gone, bro. That's intense, bro. You mad focused.
In game, similar to Attune mobs in Deepwoken, and it doesn't stop.
I don't know, because I remember it's like at a certain point, I don't remember how the Dark Sea was. Like, I don't know if it's been changed, but I do remember it's like when I was trying to go out on my boat, bro. Like, I tried to lock in for a few minutes and I got fucking bodied.
there.
Someone
Giant
let me know.
Krakens can halt your journey entirely, but through all the obstacles and chaos, there's loot. Ships can be boarded, and the islands are worth exploring. Each Darksea island is randomly generated with materials, chests, and
It's the
exclusive
same besides
rewards that can
Omen?
only
Nothing
be
else
found
been
in
added?
this area of the
No new
game.
monsters
As we've
besides,
seen in
Temple?
Deepwoken, they already have great handcrafted islands that pop
There's
up,
no way.
and instead of these randomized ones, I think those would do a little bit better in Deepwoken. Anyway, the biggest thing about this is the extraction mechanic from the Darksea. Many of the high-tier
Yes, I agree.
exclusive chests in the Darksea have to be hauled back into a port
There's got to
before
be
you can
some
claim
sort
the
of
loot.
haulback
It's
process.
interesting because in Deepwoken, you usually open chests instantly, but the Valve Iron already experiments with that sort of playstyle. So if the Void Sea chests work the same exact way, locked until you return to a specific area,
That- bro,
it will
that creates
create
that
real
tension, man.
real risk,
Yep,
and a
exactly.
genuine high-stakes challenge for any player who wants to get that loot. At the end of the day, Arcane Odyssey
As long,
operates
I
in
think
a
if anything, it's like that tension's important, bro. As long as there's some emotion, bro, some emotion, some feeling like when you lose it, bro, you pissed. Bro, that's good, bro. I'm not gonna say anything else.
completely different
Punchy
lane,
got it. You
but
know
that's
what you're talking
exactly why Deepwoken, the game we all love, can still take inspiration from what it does well.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Leave your own thoughts down below. If there's any other game that Deepwoken can learn from, maybe I'll do some research on that as well.
Any other
Thanks once
game
again
Deep
to
can
all the
learn from? What is another game Deep can learn from? Is it crazy to say, bro? I think what's interesting. I think one game that is really interesting. This is not necessarily that Deep can learn from, but I think it's interesting analysis. Grand Peace Online had like 2 to 3K players, and now it's at like 50K. And that is like, when I think about that, that is how there is never there, as long as there is a dev working on the game, there is no excuse for people to say the game, like the game having low player count. There's no excuse. At a certain point, it's like you can put in the effort and get it back up, bro. Look, no, GPO deadass had like 2-3K players. For how long? And if I recall, it was always like people saying like, "Oh, Foyu doesn't want to work on the game." I don't know what I actually don't know what the shit was, but that's what I heard all my friends who played it say. "Oh, he doesn't work on the game. He doesn't do this." I'm like, damn, what the fuck going on? But then when you see some motherfucking elbow grease put in, look at that. Come on, you got this is what you got to respect. Some elbow grease was put in, and the shit popped off. Look, that's what I'm saying. It does, bro. In this day and age on Roblox, bro, like look at that. That's why I say it's like when I saw that video, it's like Deep only has 1 year. I watched like Dan VR video. It's like I don't know. This is make or break for Deep. It's like, bro, Deep could break this year for the entire year. This alone, and even we have the same thing too. I forgot we literally had the exact same thing. Let me look. Nah, bro. We literally also, bro. I think as long as like there's people who have had fond memories on the game, bro, a solid update will always bring some folks back. Same thing with Rogue Lineage. Rogue Lineage did the exact same thing as well, and it's like, and one thing as well. I think it's okay. I think it's okay if it doesn't last forever, as long as people hop in and have like they enjoy the game. It could be a few weeks, could be a month, it could be even only 1 week. People hop back in there, bro. As long as always consistent, solid new content, I think it'll be fire. I think one thing about Deep is like, and you can ask Greg. I've been telling him this. There has not been the next level big push update since 2022. Think about that, bro. Since the end of 2022, chat. That was the last time we had saw an update that had like actually like pushed the game forward. A lot of the stuff here has been, if you think about it, has been additions to what Verse 2 kind of pushed forward, right? Shrine of Order, Oath expansion, those two things alone. Right, and min-max being what's called like more bigger min-max, but even then it's like it's just that's not even super crazy in my opinion, and we were able to basically feed off that for all this time. And so yeah, I think a big thing for sure is like, and another thing as well, chat. Look, like I said, I love the squad, but like, Bro, when was the last monster Deepwoken has gotten, bro? Broodlord? Think about that. Broodlord. When did that motherfucker drop? How to Kill Mudskipper Boss. April 12th, almost 2 years ago. Nah. April 12th. What's that? That's 21 months ago. No, when I don't mean boss. I mean like monster, bro. Like small monster, like megalodon size. Okay, not Parasonic. I'm talking monster on the ground that you box up. Last one, last fresh, brand new one was almost 2 years ago. Okay, I know. And here's the thing. Okay, like I said, I'd say Enmity. Enmity was, if you think about Enmity, was like that's also like the newest one. Am I missing anything? Was there any other like monster type? No, Enmity, yeah. Enmity. Oh yeah, I guess you got the Golem at Lorisia, but I'm talking brand new, no reference. No previous reference, Enmity. Because here's the thing, bro, Parasol, the motherfucking low key, bro, the concept of the Parasol in the World Tournament been there since verse 1 even. Bro, y'all remember? Deepwoken Unsolved, World Serpent, Parasol. I had that thumbnail made 2022, bro. 2022. And so I'm saying it's time to get to the next level, you know what I'm saying? Right? I think it's like, bro, I think it's just real simple, man. I think it's a very easy formula to crack. There's been a multitude of content that motherfuckers just haven't even gotten in a minute. There's still a plethora of things to add and to play around with. Bro, just add a new area, 5 new monsters, 3 new bosses. I guarantee you. I mean, it's that simple. I think it's really that simple. Chat, tell me. I mean, new area, 3 new bosses, 5 new mobs. That's layer 2. But chat, that mentality, though. That's why I said layer 3 about to be something special, though. It's got to be something special. Because I'm thinking about it, it's like, it really is that simple. I think just to bring folks back and to give them something fresh to play. I think that's a big thing as well. Give them something fresh to play. Because while I do think these updates always solid, I think one thing that a lot of people notice, or a lot of people say, and I sometimes I pay attention. It's like people will come back after like like Titus, for example, right? And they'll hop in the game. And I know you could argue like, oh, well, they didn't get to the new stuff, but they'll be like, oh, I hopped in, I didn't notice anything different. They got off the game. They don't feel that difference. Obviously, you could argue, with every update, if there's like a new spot, they have to go to a new spot. But you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, right, chat? I feel like a lot of people have that general kind of mindset. And so, yeah, that's why I think, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying obviously that it's going to be like the easiest thing in the world. It's going to be a lot of work. But what I am trying to say is, dude, I think there's a lot of big things to look forward to, man. And I think Deep got, I think especially it's like, if you take like the big updates, bro, there's like 4 big updates that can still be throughout the years that could be as big as layer 2. I think there's a few, bro, bare minimum few years of going through this content. There should be a few years of going through this content. All right. That's my yap over. Let's get some people in. I kind of want to hear what they got to say. All right. Hey, what's up, Johnny Joestar? What you got, man? What you got for me?
It is I. Let me just mute the stream first.
Yeah, go ahead.
There. So talking about the things I think should happen, right?
Okay.
I've been saying this before. You might have read it. I do think that, as Reguzer said, we should have a better identity for each type of weapon. right?
Yeah.
So currently you have medium weapons that they're like spears, rifles, swords, etc. I think that there's more stuff we can have for example, for the spear weapon class, right? We
Mhm.
have Imperial Staff in there. Imperial Staff is not it's not a spear. It doesn't play like a spear. It should be its own pseudo weapon.
So you mean
class
more
instead.
classes, like new classes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
new classes like
Yeah.
curved swords, straight swords, katanas,
Okay.
staves.
Interesting.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Curved swords versus straight swords, like two different types of swords.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So like curved swords, for example, could be more centered around like piercing block and stuff like that. Straight swords would be more about like benefiting off proper parry trades. Katanas would have different stances, etc.
Oh,
I
so
think
you even
that
talking
could
about
be-
like katana, straight sword. You're talking about like splitting it up a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that could be interesting.
I do think what I will say to that, I do think it's like there are a lot of weapons where we would have to probably like there's like weapons that just have like, oh, this weapon has like 20% chip or like 10% pen.
Oh,
So if you
yeah.
as long as I think people kind of mess with it's like, okay, we're making it to where all katanas are kind of universally in this area. You see what I mean?
But I agree with that. But I think that's even better because when you separate all weapons in further classes, you can still have the niche of specific weapons. Like Night Axe, for example, has insanely. I'm pretty sure it's Night Axe.
Has like a lot
really
of
high
chip.
damage.
Yeah.
So you would still have like, let's say, great axe in the case of that one. We'd have like war great axes, or like two-handed not two-handed, two-headed great axes, and like each one of them would have a different like specialty, pretty much. Like
All
you could.
right, give me like an example.
So, something I was thinking, maybe for a two-headed battle axe, you could
Okay.
have them. All the weapons of two-headed battle axe have one talent that always comes into that weapon. Same way as some weapons have the blitz talent. So Kindred Edict has blitz. Forgotten Gladius has blitz. You give that weapon quote unquote weapon subclass a specific talent.
Oh, I mean, so just basically like how there's like the weapon class stuff right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but like it's specific for that weapon subclass.
Like type.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think one thing though is that like if there would probably be a lot of probably new anims, I'd say, right? For there to be like differences between like, because I think like you look at every great axe, and if you're talking about splitting it in between those, I mean you'd
I think
probably
that's
want to.
the- I think that's the more extreme side of the great axe. That's the more extreme side of the
Or
argument.
like for example, like the
What-
katanas versus curved
Yeah.
swords versus like straight swords,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like, you'd
do
assume
think
they would have
that's where we
different
have the
anims.
most potential. Yeah, my bad for interrupting. But yeah,
There you go.
that's exactly where I think we should have like the most. Because think about it. Do we have a single straight sword legendary weapon that isn't like Hero Blades?
Does Soulthorn count?
I guess, but I meant more elemental, you know. But it's fine.
Oh,
Soulthorn does count.
elemental. Oh,
No, but
Think
you
so.
got a point. Soulthorn is one of them. But we have so few of them, you know.
yeah.
It'd be interesting to have like each weapon subclass have its own niche. So like for example, you could have a katana. Katanas have like stances. We have curved swords that have a better hitting block capabilities. We have straight swords that have different interactions on parry, maybe stuff like that. You know, like people already said that you guys want to make the combat have different options for avoiding attacks.
Yeah.
So one thing that could happen is like straight swords, they don't get like any debuffs for parrying attacks that are supposed to be jumped, for example, you know?
Yeah.
They interact the same way. So stuff like that, you know?
I
Just
mean,
to
here's
keep
my
them with
only
their own
thing.
niche.
While I do think that all these like different things are a great idea, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Even like across what we're like currently trying to do, man, dude, the possibility of deep oaken builds, like
There are a lot.
I do think that there will be a lot of situations where it's like the specific effect can be fine-tuned or built around to make like a super fucking crazy build in either a 1v1 situation or in a gank environment. If you see what I'm saying.
Yeah. I get that. I get that.
But I
I-
think
I-
I,
but
think if people are willing to like accept that, then
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, there's always going to be one thing that's objectively, even if by a small margin, better than everything else, you know? It's more about giving the players the options to choose how they want to play around that. I think that's the most important part. So something I like to use as an example is like a few years ago we had Elden Ring, right? And Elden Ring had its own arena. And objectively speaking, there is like one loadout in Elden Ring which is objectively the strongest loadout in the game. Like be that it fluctuates what it was at the time, but there's always people still doing their own build, you know? It
yeah.
wasn't everyone doing the drone build, so just like, oh, I'm gonna rank up in the arena, you know? Like, of course, there's gonna be people that's gonna do that. They're gonna do that, but that's inevitable. But giving the players options to do whatever they want is what we should strive for. Like, again, as you guys said, like I think yesterday, Chime is like it's not what you should be building towards, you know? It's the
Yeah, I know.
It's a side
we
plot.
are that's what I'm saying, but we are focused on like gank balance more so, but it's like okay, for example, right? Like what if there is just like a class that's just always like not that great in ganks, but it's just a lot better in ones, right? Like for example, you were mentioning perhaps like the was it the straight sword that had like the thing where it's like, oh, it parries the it parries like the additional defense sort of attacks,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't have that downside, right? Which that sounds, I mean, that does sound pretty solid, but that sounds like it's more suited for like, you know, more focused 1v1 situation.
Yeah.
Where like the chaos and like I feel like there's also like just a lot of current gameplay that, you know, threatens to really have like a huge focus that we currently see right now, actually. Like I'm not trying to repeat the same mistake as what we're currently doing. That would be my biggest concern.
I get that. But that's where like each weapon is supposed to play for a certain, like I said, it's again a
Yeah.
certain niche of weapon. But I do think there should be weapons that are better for duels. There are weapons that are better for ganks. Like of course you don't want like always this type of weapon for ganks, always this type of weapon for 1v1s. But you still want like weapons that are centered for that, you know?
What weapons do you think should be
That's-
centered for ganks?
People always talk heavy, but I think maybe weapons more like spears, like because if you think about it, like how spears worked in real life, is that oh you don't want to spend enough too much money to give like a little peasant a sword that he's not going to be able to wield properly, so just give him like a big stick and like a little bit of iron on the tip of it, right? So they can just stay away from people, and I think that could work towards like gank fights, right? You could have so spears benefit more like the spear dancer class that we had in Vow of Iron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could it do something like that for like group combat? So let's say if you have a hoplite talent, for example, let's say you have like two people that are partied with each other and they have shields and spears. So if they're together, they get a buff where like if they block, they take like less posture damage. Because they have an ally close to them. They're all blocking, you know? They're like in a spear hoplite formation.
Yeah.
Stuff
I
like
mean,
that. To
like
me-
I see what you're saying, and I do think it's like something that will definitely like that will be probably the purpose of a lot of these weaponry works. But it's like I think trying to force specifically like we want these weapon types specifically to be good in ganks. Like I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm just saying like the possibilities of deep oaken builds makes that very difficult to set in stone. Something like I just feel like there's a lot of times there's a lot of variables that we'd have to go through and like nerf this specific thing, these specific combos, etc. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's just I just think that's something that we might have to end up looking out for, and why it could be something
Yeah.
maybe restricting potentially.
Yeah, but do you agree with me that that is a worthwhile thing to allow the player? It's a good cost to allow the players to have so much more they can do with their builds.
I mean, yeah, I do think so. It just like I said, it just depends on how much you think. What's it called? You think it should delve into what's it called? Like,
specialties.
yeah, like how much does it actually affect the fight? Is it like actually like a huge gameplay style difference?
I feel like some of them, like that one that I said for hoplites and stuff, that could be interesting if you like make the weapon class as a whole not the best for like 1v1s, but in ganks is where they really shine because of those formations, but still allow like there to be like spears that are made for dueling, you know? So they don't have that passive, for example, but they still can be used for dueling. So like let's say they don't have the hoplite talent, but they have like a flat stat boost that still makes them viable for duels.
So you're saying that they would have like, for example, like two talents, one for ones, one for gank.
Necessarily, I think that we could just have exceptions in the weapon class itself. Like there's weapons on the weapon class that this weapon talent, this weapon has a weapon talent hoplite, and like most of the weapons are gonna have hoplite, and then there's gonna be a few ones that don't have that and have like a different talent, you know, or just don't have a talent and have like better stats to make up for it.
All right.
I'm just
Well,
just afraid of creating another stat
the-
stick like Katana
Yeah.
right now.
now I didn't want to cut you off, but it's like I do think
That's
some
fine,
people in
that's
chat wanted to hop in. I didn't
Oh,
want to be too rude
no
to them.
problem, no problem.
I appreciate you
I
pulling
said-
up. Yeah, no. I do think that's an
said what I
interesting
wanted to
idea,
say.
though. I think like at least at the bare minimum, if it's like if we wanted to like further increase it, like I don't think that's something that's completely off the table. I just think for now, I think like a big thing is like we need at least the individual, like great sword and great hammer. There's a clear line between those, right? Before we
Oh,
start
yeah.
getting to like the different ones.
Of course.
All right.
The only thing I'm
Oh,
gonna
go ahead.
stand my feet here is please katana stances. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Peace. All right, next let's get this guy named Jack. Hello, Jack.
Yo, what's up?
What's
You
up?
hear me?
Yes, I do.
Oh. Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see the Summer Isle origin anywhere soon?
Anywhere soon? Probably not.
Because like Summer Isle has been untouched for a
It
while,
has.
and it also doesn't have any lore, so
It
could pretty
does
much
lack
use
lore, you're right?
it could pretty much use a rework and an origin as well, because it's like a forgotten place, and the only time people are gonna go to Summer Isle is to get any of the exclusive pull items that's from Summer Isle.
Yeah. I will tell you that there has been some interesting discussions going around about what we would do for the summer origin. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be soon because I think there's bigger priorities on the line. But I feel like if we have like the stretch, if you will, to like a big update like layer 3, right? I feel like it's potentially one of those things that could pull up in between that time while we're waiting on that big update to drop. But it's not something that's like on our list for like what we're planning to do right now, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that there's bigger priority in the game, like balancing, like the stuff that's on the roadmap.
No, balancing
get-
doesn't take that much time. It's just like when it came to the authority origin, like we had the whole squad pull up for that, right? And you know what I'm saying, we gotta have time for lore to be crafted around it, right? It was a much more lore focused update. And so even though, we could probably script the origin update pretty quickly, it's like we need time for the creatives to kind of think on like, why does the gameplay relate to the origin? What's the deeper foundation of Summer? Like, I feel like Summer has been lacking, you're right. So it's like some of that stuff will be discussed and some of that can take time, which would take time away from if we wanted to do layer 3, right? It's like that would take time away from layer 3. So that's part of the reason why I think it's like it's not soon, but it's not, I don't think it's improbable that it's not like impossible that it couldn't release this year, but you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I get that. Also, I have another silly question.
Okay.
Who's the drowned god of Frostro?
Who is the drowned god of Frostra?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to
Yo.
tell you.
Yo,
I don't even
if
know if
you
there is
wait-
one.
if you wager me right now and I win, can I become the Drowned God of Frostro?
Here's what I'll do. If you manage to beat everybody in the waiting room in a death's wager, I'll allow that. Okay?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm cocked.
The first guy you're gonna fight is this guy named Westy. He's the first one there. You do a death's wager with him one-on-one. If you win, I'll give you whatever you want, okay?
All right, I'll do that.
Alright, gotcha. Alright, next up, we got a guy named Dust. Let's bring him up.
Yo, wait,
What's
wait,
up, Dust?
let
What you got for
let me-
me?
Let me just pause. All right, so basically, because Deep Health Month is covering the PV side of Deep Woken as well, right?
Yes.
I was wondering if there was going to be like general PVE balance to it, especially around Iron Sing.
Oh, yes. I didn't do any nerfs for this if you're talking about nerfs.
I'm talking about like talents like, Conductor's Cable, mantras like Metal Turrets, that.
Besides like metal turrets, I'm kind of out the loop on what is the god PvE meta. I feel like after metal turrets got its nerf, I didn't really. Is it like still running PvE or something? I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's still basically it's still running to PvE to the sense where people are doing 40-second enmities still without parrying. Like
Okay,
the entire time they're in portals.
I see. I mean, to me, it just sounds maybe the efficiency of how often you get the stun should be reduced a little bit.
Yeah, because a lot of the time he's like staggered.
Is it just
Because of
from
how
metal
the
turrets or
conductor's cable.
something?
Yeah, because Conductor's Cable makes it so that every time you add a Conductor's Rod to Enmity, it takes away 10% of his armor. So every 12
it's
seconds he's getting
percent.
staggered. Yeah.
I mean, there's a stagger cooldown, but I mean, I don't know if it's like I feel like it's fine for Iron Sing's like gimmick to be towards that, but if it's like, for example, perhaps maybe like the super big percent stuff shouldn't be like affecting like the super big bosses as much. Maybe it's like reduced or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Because it's still like Meltart still runs the meta. Like Oxidizing Rush still doing half a bar to Enmity when he's staggered. Metal Rain still does crazy damage. It's like
Really?
just
Does
one of those
crazy
attunements that's
damage?
above. Yeah, everything's just above. Iron Sing's just above every other attunement. So there's like no competition. So I'm like wondering, will there be like a balance? So people aren't just like forced to run Iron Sing if they want the best. You know what I mean?
So you're saying the issue is because Iron Sing is so far ahead, there's no innovation at the lower level. Everyone just goes to Iron Sing.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. What about
Yeah.
other forms of PV? Is it just Enmity that this happens, or is it like everything?
It's just like every boss killer, most Diluvian builds I've seen are running Iron Sing. So
Really, why Iron Sing and Diluvian?
because of just how much damage like Metal Turrets and Metal Rain, Oxidizing Rush, all these monsters just do. They have crazy PV scaling.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, I think maybe like the percent stuff can be taken a look at. I'll ask other PvE experts. I don't know. I try and ask one guy for PV advice. Like I asked Skipper Gripper for something, and then people are like, "Oh, don't ask Skipper. He doesn't make good builds. Ask me." I'm like, okay, sure. So I'll go ask the PV guys if they agree.
Yeah.
But thanks
Yeah.
for bringing it up.
Yeah. That's
But yeah, no, most of
pretty
this,
much all.
pretty much there were no PV nerfs this week. It was just me adding buffs to some stuff.
But yeah, I was like just asking because you guys are trying to like make the game a lot better. But like
Yeah.
there's a whole community, like everyone's running the same attunement. Like there's no competition between it. It's just really weird.
Okay.
Like just makes the game unenjoyable when you could just I place Metal Turrets where I do insane damage. The boss is just infinitely staggered. I don't have to do any parrying. It's just
Right. It,
like Emily's meant to be this
it
whole
doesn't even
raid boss.
it doesn't make it a fight anymore. It's just like
Yeah.
it's a win mantra. Okay.
like, why try learn Enmity so I can get all this good loot when I could still get the same good loot with no effort? Just have a good build. You know what I mean?
Like I said, if as we probably add more like difficult bosses to Pathfinder, like if there are like super busted methods, I feel like with Enmity, you know, it's been like people just farm them to farm them. It's not like super crazy if people have like the method anymore. But it's like when it comes to at least future PV, especially layer 3, like I will say expect a lot of like really overpowered tech to be like just gone, like removed from the game. Because obviously you would want hopefully the idea to be like, you know, the players who have just closer to Vive Iron, to be honest, just like the people who are actually able to fight the boss well, would be the ones who would be able to like kill it the fastest, outside of it just being like a build diff. But yeah, appreciate you bringing up that concern.
I have one more question.
Okay.
About like the speedrunning side of the game, like speedrunning layer 2, like what's your stance on that?
Speedrunning layer 2, it's possible to add back the tech. I remember Ark was saying like, oh, there's just tech that can be added back to layer 2. Here's my issue. My issue. Never mind. I have issues. See, the problem is, right? The problem is with layer 2 tech is when I tell speedrunners that I don't mind not touching their stuff or like even allowing it. However, this is assuming that layer 2 will forever stay as layer 2. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Right?
Yeah.
So it's like if there was something added to layer 2 one day and you still had all these techs that potentially allow for, you know what I'm saying, right, crazy. You see what the issue kind of comes down to, right? So it's like it kind of prevents or halts some things. Some of it, most of it's like mobility, right? But there have been some techs that literally allow you, like for example, I mean it's rare, but like it one taps chaser, right? So it's like if there's something to be added to layer 2, should I patch that out? Would that make the speedrunners angry? But there's new stuff coming to. Do you see what the kind of issue is? That's why I always say it's like it's not that I dislike speedrunning. I fuck with the speedrunning videos. I watch a lot of them on stream. I have no ill will towards speedrunners, and I even said for they're doing like a speedrunning competition that I can make them like a spec enchant Godspeed.
Yeah.
But no, I have like no ill will towards them. It's just like if it's gonna halt future content that we want to do, it will be less priority. Do you see what I mean? That's all. That was just the main thing.
But the thing is, like, your main incentive of not adding back these techs is like the one-shot tech you were talking about before, right?
Yeah, if it's like, for example, like I don't know, re-enabling fucking lightning assault going through walls, like I don't, sure, you know, but if it does potentially peer into stuff that could mess up other forms, like for example, right, new room added to layer 2 for X thing, and there's a trap room, but then they can lightning assault out the room to escape it. Do you see what I mean, right? It's like we can't really keep that in if it's messing up potential future parts of the gameplay for layer 2.
Yeah.
That's all I really have to say. But like I said, it's not a big deal now, so I wouldn't mind allowing like stuff like that back, but as time goes kind of forward, you can see why eventually some of that might actually have to end up getting removed.
But yeah, like the one-shot tech, of course, it's a rare chance. It's 1 in 500 from like what I remember. But like small techs like lightning assault clipping, wave dashing, like flame leap, glacial arc, those techs, like it's like a year's worth of innovation, and then being patched just like makes all the hard work went into finding those techs it's gone. Yeah, speedrunning is like a small community. It's not as big as it was like back then, but still, it's just a small community. And having those techs re-enabled adds for more innovation in the future, more cool stuff being found out, pushing the game to its limit. That's the whole point of speedrunning.
Yeah, I agree. But like you understand what I'm saying though, right? It's like I'm not saying I won't like re-enable like some of them if they need to be like re-enabled, right? For a speedrunning community. But I'm just saying it's like if I do want to push something eventually to layer 2, and it's like there's potentially tech that allows it to be kind of invalidated, you would kind of see where the issue kind of lies, where it's like those kind of two cross cross at a certain line where it's like this specific tech might have to be disabled because it allows for cheese to exist. Because it is
But
like
yeah,
it's
like-
essentially like I'm allowing these bugs to exist for this community. But when it comes to like people using these bugs for potential like abuse in any way, when there's something added in the future that is related to layer 2 specifically, that was just the big thing. But I don't know. I'm not saying it's like an impossible situation to deal with. I'm just saying it's like why some things eventually could end up being disabled later on, outside of just like balance. Like balance is whatever, it doesn't matter as much. But like when it comes to like new content, then there's probably a lot more priority, and it depends on what's added as well. Layer 2 is a finished dungeon, and so it's like I think like a big thing is what's it called? You just see just like a lot of different stuff kind of flare up because it's like the same repeatable thing for so long, right? It's just like nothing's ever really changed. But if it was, you know what I'm saying, right? If it starts to turn into where it's like you kind of have more stuff where it's it ends up being kind of done a lot more, and there's like more variety, or there's more stuff we want to add. I don't know, because I've had thoughts about wanting to do that and change things up. I don't know, that was my main thing.
But yeah, like basically what I'm asking you to consider is, since you're doing this speedrun competition, like you're helping sponsor it with Skipper, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you told me.
Yeah,
that.
I'm asking you like to help like kind of support to, since the layer 2 will probably be a part of the categories for people to speedrun. I'm asking like
I mean, yeah, like I said, in that meanwhile, like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm asking.
Is there any specific tag you'd ask?
Lightning assault clipping, wave dashing,
Wave
glacial
dashing?
gale lunge.
Wave dashing got passed.
No, wave dashing. Yeah, wave dashing works. Never mind, wave dashing works. Scratch that. Glacial like flame leap, glacial like gale lunge. I'm pretty sure those are all unpatched. It's just, you know, the velocity cap,
Mm-hmm.
like to stop people from going like 1,000 miles in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made devs made like an effort to unpatch it, but the velocity cap stopped it, and it was just never changed.
Yeah. I guess I don't know if that was me who changed that. I'd have to ask maybe like Corey. If that was maybe like something like he changed it up. Hold on, let me But yeah, he said yeah, like lightning assault clip, wave dash,
Lightning impact
solid.
clipping as well.
Oh, lightning impact. Damn, that shit got removed.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll see. That one's a little bit tougher to do since I actually got removed, but
Just one of my suggestions. You know, Ecliptic? He's like the speedrunner.
yeah.
Yeah, you could like probably talk to him about it, since he knows a lot more than me.
Well, like I said, if you just want to send me some suggestions, I guess I'll take a look. Lightning impact didn't get removed. It was like a specific spark, and a lot of people use
Yeah.
it to like glitch through fucking walls and shit.
Oh yeah.
Which is actually probably why it got removed.
Yeah, because I had actually no use. It was just, oh wow, I can just make my mantra clip through walls.
Yeah. Appreciate you pulling up. I'm gonna get somebody else, if you don't mind.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you pulling up. I got you. Guess we'll see what chat's saying real quick. Most of these techs aren't even meant to exist. It makes sense for them to be patched. Yeah, it's like with layer 2, it's like it's tough because like if we do eventually add some stuff to like layer 2, which is not off the table. It's not off the table. It's like, bro, some of that tech could abuse what we might try and add. I know. But no comment on that stuff for now. Ignition, you great can weapon idea. Great can idea. Okay. Scripting a new mob recolor, bro. First off, okay. Last time I ever did a mob, like used a mob and did something like a recolor. What it was? I think it was Gottman. That was the last time I actually like made one. And no, I did not make them for Scuba. Okay, I just made the moves because it needed some moves, man. It was like base, and I was like, we can give it something. Let's see. Bro, last time was Gottman. That was July. Bro, y'all on tip, bro. That was literally what? That was more than half a year ago, bro. I don't do recolors. Fuck y'all. I've had as many recolors as I've had actual bosses. Hop off. I've literally heard this every time. I'm like, bro, the last time I had real was July, bro. What are we talking about? Nah, bro. What the hell? Add more unique weapon classes. I mean, yeah, I think at that point. Staffs, bows. You made Drevik. I made the Rat King and I made Shogun. Obviously, yeah, the animation's done beautifully by the homie. Did a great job on them. And also, Nichijin's made like the weapon that they hold. So it's a group effort. And came out great. All right, let's get somebody else. Let's get, I recognize some people I actually have already brought up before. Let's bring up.
Yo.
Yep.
Hello, wait, hold on. Let me mute your stream. Hello?
What's up?
All right, so this is like, all right, so wait, does it have to be about scripting or can it just be about like anything in Deep Booking?
It's mainly supposed to be layer 3, to be honest.
Oh, layer 3. Okay. Well, I was gonna talk about like two things. So one, I don't know what's gonna come in this update, but like
Okay.
we need some content in the main game. Like, oh my, it's bad right now. Like, there's nothing. It's the same. It's been the same content that we've been going through for like since before Valve Iron, pretty much.
So Authority / Titus.
Well, that I'm talking about. I'm a PvP. I do mostly PvP.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking on the PvP side. I don't really.
Oh, so
I'm
like
not too worried about PvP.
weapon or something like that.
New weapons, yeah. Like me personally, back then when they were just adding new weapons, I enjoyed that.
You
I never had a problem with
weekly
it.
legendaries.
I like seeing Deep Spindle, Bloodfowler. Like I like that, brother. Give variety.
Look, let me tell you the truth, man.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to end that cycle. Okay, I've made. There's some weapons that are legend that are made. I'm just not adding them. They need to be saved for a big update.
Yeah, because I remember that's the whole thing with Conquest. A lot of it got like spread out anyways.
Yeah,
So
but no, it's like
yeah.
I want to save them for when it matters, right? Like
Yeah, because I've been playing since literally like day one. So I was like, I understand since like we got conditioned to like getting a weapon every single week.
Yeah.
Versus how verse 1 where we didn't get updates for like months.
Bro, a new weapon was like crazy.
Dude, and you wouldn't even know. It would just get added randomly.
Yeah, like
But,
Swords
like-
Eye was crazy.
Yeah, like, but and then another thing is legendary bells. Right now, legendary bells are horrible. Horrid.
A lot of people
At
tell me
least in
TP's
game.
fucking. People tell me
Well-
TP's still amazing.
So and like when like the legendary bells was like the most broken was like 2024 summer, right? Where people were going in and out of Conway every 5 seconds and just jumping in and out, and they could get away from you, right?
Yeah.
I understand it need a nerf, but right now Conway is literally unusable. It takes about like 10 seconds to get into a Conway in PvP, and you can get hit during that. You can get spiked. You can just and when you're using Conway to run away, you're gonna be already low. So when you're getting hit and you can't do anything about it because you can't hit back, you can't parry, and you get put into the Conway, and then you're like one shot at that point, and you get hit, and then you just die anyways.
I mean,
It's
this might be a hot take, bro, but like, I mean, I don't know if these belts should be brought back to their former glory.
But like, I don't feel like a legendary like
So it should
Or
be
it's
good,
either-
so it should be the
when-
strongest because it's rare, is what you're saying.
it should be the strongest since it has the title of legendary. It should be good. Like right now, Smokescreen is better than both of them. I use Smokescreen for
Smokescreen is not better than TP. Stop, bro.
for running away. I use. Well, I'm about to play Great War. Right?
Unless-
I'm gonna be using.
Unless you got like the god corners lined up, maybe. But like, bro, TP
No,
I still
I'm-
think is still a major bell that's being used at the moment.
like ever since I came back to the game, I've been going TP on all my builds, and I've just been seeing it getting nerfed. I've seen this dude sit here for like a minute. He wasn't getting hit. He got hit by one thing, canceled. He had to wait another like 10 seconds, and he died. But like I said, I'm running Smokescreen right now on my main build, and I'm like ganking I'm ganking like all like the like the good players, right? I'm not ganking just like randoms, right?
Mhm.
And I'm getting away way more than that than with TP. Not to mention everybody has TP. They TP to you when you TP to other places, which you can't change that. But like, right now, a lot of the bells are better than both of those. Like I said, Smokescreen for running, I can pick you up, right? So 3 people can be chasing me if they don't have that good of movement, and I do have good movement. I'm on no team and heavy right now. I use Smokescreen with Corrupt, of course, and it takes me away. I use Dash, Adrenaline Surge, and stuff like that. I get so much just distance, like so much. It's insane. Smokescreen is so much better than both of those for running, at least, because that's what people use them for. They use them for running, at least in PvP. And they just need to get fixed. Like Conway is so bad. Like, oh my, it's horrible.
I mean, I feel like the only reason people view it as bad is because it's not like a free escape anymore. I feel like what you're asking is for me to try and make it to where it's not a free escape, but it's also not bad. And it's like, bro, that balance in the middle is like, it's first off, it's gonna be subjective anyway. It's like when I was doing camo increases, it was like, I think right now it's like the windup I said to was like 4 seconds or something like that.
It's so long. It's insane. I don't think it's 4 seconds.
And it's like, I don't know. It's like, do people want OG Conway back, bro? Like, do I need to reduce it by half? Like,
I think what should happen is the windup shouldn't be like, or I mean, you can keep like a little bit of a windup, but because the biggest issue about that is you literally get punished for using your bell. If you have Conway, there's really no scenario where you're able to use it unless you already created a bunch of distance.
Yeah, but like
amounts where it doesn't matter.
It was so bad. People were using it right in front of you, and you couldn't do anything about it. Or literally,
I agree. Yeah,
they would do like, they would just have one thing that would allow them to not immediately get to you. I placed down Ice Eruption, Spring Spark, return all Camwy. Now what? Everybody's gone. And that was still possible after I did like 2 sets of nerfs. The final nerf I did actually put it in the ground.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's like, do you see what I'm saying, right? I just feel like at a certain point,
I know
it's
what
like,
you're saying, yeah.
At least what I'll say about these other bells, even with Smokescreen, right? And Smokescreen, I think, is on the nicher side. It's like, bro, the fight is still continuing. I feel like just everybody, because let's just say I bring back, all right, I reduce Camwy duration by half. Everybody, or I reduce TP again. It's like everybody is either running those two, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think they should be like the dominant meta. I think they should be like, you have their solid use cases, but they're not like a must pick. And that's basically what people viewed them as before. They viewed them as must picks.
What I would say, instead of nerfing them, you could just buff all the bells so it evens it out. I saw you doing that with enchants, and I think you should keep doing that. You guys tried doing Province One, and it's kind of...
Bro, I can't... how much... You want me to buff Shardbow where it does 2 bars or something like that? Like,
nah, Shardbow's
bring
good
back...
right now.
Bro, no, listen to me. Hold on now. You said buff... You said buff every bell to be as good as pre-nerf Camwy and pre-nerf TP. Brother, I don't know what to tell you. There were bells that were equaling that, and they all got nerfed because the meta was fucking crazy. Do you not remember Corrupted Smite? That shit was doing like a fucking half a bar per the ball. Remember the Assassination Jar of Souls build? People forget about those. Prime Sacred Field when it was corrupted. Run It Back corrupted when people were running Berserk builds. All of these metas, I remember because I had to go through and nerf every single one of them because they were just as good as the legendary bells. And now it's finally the legendary bells starting to get nerfed. But no, now it's an issue because it's taking it too far. But literally every single time there's been a common bell that was starting to get up there in terms of the meta, it became fucking cancer and everybody was running it. It's like, you see what the issue is, right? I can leave portals in the water. There was literally a specific meta for every single bell damn near that I went through and I had to nerf. Because they were running the game.
And I'm kind of finding this funny because I have been on all these bells during these times, but like during those times, you would see for example, the portals thing, when Skeleton Key was insane. These times, these were all during the same time. These were all during the same time frame, and these were all equally broken. So everybody was running it. For example, I was running portals when people were running Skeleton Key, run it back, and all the different things. Yeah, it was broken, but every bell, like I could have more variety. That right now, I feel like I can't use legendary bells at all. I've rolled off TP multiple times so far, and I've been rolling off Conway, and I don't like to run Reaper or anything like that. But like I feel like there's very little bells that like I can use, and it's actually useful in ganks. But yeah, that's all I want to say.
I'm just saying it's like many of these in its prime were like fucking. It's just like some of the nerfs it wasn't even trying to nerf the bell specifically. It was just nerfing like the meta combination. I think even fucking like Resurrection caught a nerf because there was like this one video of people of this dude like infinite reviving with it, and then people started to actually do that in ganks.
Yeah,
and that got complained about as well. And it's just like, I don't know. I think the only bells I think that maybe weren't ever really as like dominant recently, probably Reaper. Or like recently in like past year maybe or year and a half, probably Gravity Fill. You don't really see that wind up. Paralytic Dust had its own run. Remember that?
Yeah. Well,
Chorus Divide on release.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying it's like, you gotta give me at least a solid solution if you're trying to bring back old Camwy.
All right, I do agree. Yeah, like I said, it didn't need a nerf. It did need a nerf, but the nerfs it has right now makes it unusable. There has to be like some middle ground, like maybe make it so when you're in that time frame where it takes the wind up, you cannot be hit during it because the people can catch you in your Conway still. Because one issue is having is people could Conway, they can use dash Conway, you still can't get in. You're not gonna be able to catch them in time. But people can still chase in your Conway without you losing a bunch of HP just for trying to use your bell. And you still have a chance to escape at the same time.
So you're saying just basically allow for people to get into the Camwy easier?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can't really use your bell currently. But the thing is, that if, for example, like I said, if they use Conway in pretty much any scenario, and they still have the downside, they are losing so much HP. Like you can get a spine cutter, and not to mention and whatever other moves you want in the time frame of them using Conway. And I feel like that it's just literally it's unusable. It's hard to even try and use.
Well, I do think an interesting that is like you're essentially saying like by having the increase in windup, instead of like it being canceled outright. Though there would be like the iframes, which you would still be cameling. It's not cancelable during that, but it gives a few seconds for everybody else.
Like, people to get in there, and they can still kill you. You can be low, and they can still kill you in your camera. And obviously, keep the whole thing with like, oh, the cooldown doesn't start till after you're out of it. All that can stay, so you can still catch people. It's not make it a god bell, pretty much.
I think it's doable.
Okay. All right, and there's a weekly coming out this week, right? Or this Friday?
Oh, yeah.
Coming out
Friday or Saturday, I think.
All right.
Whenever.
All right. It was nice talking to you.
I appreciate you pulling up.
All right.
All right, next up. It's 103. I run this for another 10. Chad, I said smaller stream today just because, well, I'm trying to stay up, but there's a reason I have to end the stream a little bit earlier. I kind of want to go get some Chipotle. All right. Okay. Let's bring this guy. Bend Over King.
Oh my god, bro! Like the last thing I was expecting, it to be me. Hold on. What's good? Love the videos. Love you, Akamatsu.
Thanks.
So what am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to like, because I asked multiple times people what I'm like supposed to do.
What do you mean?
Like, is it just I ask you a question?
Yeah, you just ask whatever you want. Yeah, about whatever you want.
Mm. Will there like ever be like a good Jet Striker buff? Because like it's looking kind of hella buns right now.
Jet Striker buff is because it's buns. And I feel like I've seen some people using Jet Kick still.
No, like no, not for Jet Kick because like the moves are really good, but I'm just generally talking about the fucking the mobility.
Okay, elaborate.
Because one thing, it's bugged or not because you can't use Jet Striker dashes in combat. I mean you can, but you can barely use them at all. Stratus step doesn't work 70% of the time. And yeah, that's what I really don't like about Jet Striker, but it's like still one of my favorite oaths.
I mean the cooldowns. Initially there was no cooldown, and then there was a cooldown, and then the cooldown got increased. So what are you asking for it to be reverted?
Well, if I really want something reverted, I want really old Jet Striker back. I want like the fucking where you running attack.
And the...
Yeah, bro. With Hive Lord, bro, that shit was amazing.
Bro, I swear there's always like a little small community of people who swear the old Jet Striker was so peak.
It was the best oath. But now it's ruined. Another thing, will we ever be seeing like any big like buffs to mage, because it's kind of looking not good right now.
Wait, repeat that.
Like seeing anything good for mage, like because you can't use hero blades no more. Damage is like
I'm gonna keep it but
really nerfed.
I'm gonna keep it but I think that's the first time in my 23 years of living I've ever heard somebody say that.
What do you mean?
That's the first time I think I've ever seen somebody ask me like directly for a mage buff.
Why? Like I'm not. I'm like I'm a mage merchant, bro. Like, but I need that back. Like first I was already crying. I was already crying when you like brought up that modifier thing.
The
modifiers.
The giant AoE nerf.
Yes, I was running I had 3 different inhale builds. You ruined all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You ruined all of them. Like, and now I can't even equip a hero blade no more. Any build, like basically any build.
I have a question. What made those inhale builds so fun?
That they were really good at the time. Like imagine, like I was in some like goated guild called Charmed, and like I had 2 supports on me, and was just like boss raiding 5 different people while like spamming potions, using the mage, and having support. That was the fun thing about it.
Bots with 2 supports on you while spamming large AoE. Okay.
Made me very happy.
I see. Okay, if you had a buff mage, what would be your this needs to be buffed? What would be your top 1 suggestion? All right, let's get the next guy up. All right, Swag, get up in here.
Yo, hello.
What's up?
So like, I was just wondering about layer 3.
Hell no.
How's
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just wondering how's Plixie gonna work in layer 3? Like, is it gonna be a boss fight or like something else?
Next question, bro. Come on now.
Alright, bro, my bad.
Bro went straight to the meat and potatoes. And I ain't gonna lie though, I respect it. I respect it.
Nah, because it's just like Plixie is so interesting, you know. It's like
Yeah, it is interesting. Don't worry though.
yeah, that's Loki. That's like
And
the
what I
only
will say
question I ever
though,
had, bro.
like I said, plans have already been formed. Ideas have already been yapped. Okay. Y'all just gotta wait and see. That's all it is.
Nah, that's like all I had. Not gonna lie, I'm not like interested in anything else.
Damn, nothing else really.
Loki buff flare combos, bro. That's the only thing.
Okay, the crit.
I'm begging you, bro. Not the crit, just like it does like no damage, bro. Give it more scaling.
Okay.
Alright, bro.
I got you later. Peace. All right, next, Elon Husk. Just cause I thought it was a funny name.
Yo, what's good?
Thank you for the 20
What?
DKK. Our bank
what?
system. Scarf
What do you
again.
mean by that?
Go ahead. What you got for me? Sorry.
Okay, so one second, let me mute the stream. I'm not hearing double audio. Okay, so I don't really got much. Lucky. I have
It's
a
all
funny
good. Take your
question.
time.
Let me ask it at the end. I have like this, you know, Augmentor, the 90 medium, 90 Iron Singer talent.
Yeah.
It's like I love it. I use it, but it's lucky trash as hell.
Needs a
It's like
buff?
another. No, it's like maybe. I'm not sure if it's intended, but if they parry the pull, you could have like 20 rods on them, and you would get the sword for like a minute. They just parry, because predict parry or some shit, and then boom, it's gone, and it lasts for way too slow. Like, it's such a fun talent.
Okay, wait. So you're saying you use Iron Sing Pool, they parry it, but it makes it last very short, so you can't use it for a very long time.
So, what the sword always is very short. It never really does anything. Like, if you just get enough rods to get the sword, it lasts like for 6 seconds.
6 to 7 seconds.
Yeah, 6 or 7 seconds. No pun intended.
Okay.
It's really bad. Like, I would wanna suggest to like give it a custom crit
Custom crit?
and make it last longer, and not just disappear if the guy parries the pull. And also, very important question from last stream: when are more Just Karita weapons dropping? Like, there's so many talents that are pretty unique, but there's nothing going on with Just Karita anymore.
Maybe one day. I had one thought at maybe. Who knows?
Not
We'll
then,
see.
not again, bro. Not again.
What do you mean not again?
Not last stream, Loki. Me and my friend, the guy, I think he donated, and you said like maybe one day at the same time.
What was the suggestion though?
As $1, I think it was.
What do you
When
ask?
is more Just Karita weapons coming out? But what are you guys like planning to do with great cannons, bows, and Just Karita, since there's nothing going for that?
Probably just need more of them. Maybe some talents. I think that'd make people happy. We'll have to see about the stat stuff. There's a lot of different weapon types, and so it's like, yeah, we'll just have to see what we change, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like weapons feel a little bit more, a little different, a little more
Okay,
different.
1 second. Let me think. What is?
Thanks for the $2, Nightcrawlers. Make Freshies web if they don't escape in 10 minutes. Oh, shall not.
Yeah, not. Also, I wanna suggest like, you know, Regalias. I think they're tough as hell. Really special stuff like Animal King, Hungerless, or you start with a relic. I mean, Bell, they're really unique. But what I was like thinking is adding a relic that gives you a regalia, like something that gives you a regalia, but it's rare as fuck. It's would be like, in my idea would be that it has like the same rarity as maybe the
I feel like
Bloodbane.
I feel like kind of goes against the purpose of what the regalia is supposed to be, though.
Like, I'm thinking they are very on. No, okay, let's move on. I got two more questions. Let me think. What is gonna happen to mounts? Like,
There'll probably be
have
more added. I think
more added.
probably no more in weekly updates though. They need to be like properly fleshed out.
Do you think there could be a layer 3 mount?
Probably.
Okay. My last question is, if you were 10 inches in Maestro and Duke was 10 inches in you, which way are you moving?
No comment. All right, thanks for the 079 come from Void and the $2 from KRPTXCS. At Earth Sand Venom Rot Life Weave Attunement. Life Weave, definitely. Earth Sand, you never know. Venom Rot, you never know. All right, next we got Malami TS. I just like the letter TS because it's like this shit. Thanks for the 20 Canadian. Do you have any new ideas you can share about new combat interactions like jumping, kind of things like in the Shogun fight? Like I said, I think the idea is like, I think actually I brought up one today. I don't know if this is actually happening, but like I suggested, like being able to jump over the Bloodfowler like crits. I mean, that'd probably be like a free hit, to be honest. Could be a good way to like balance stuff out as well. It's like you can parry it, right? But like when you are able to like jump over the crit, you're able to like jump and hit them at the same time. You feel me? And so it's like it can the extra defenses that counter certain things can justify certain things being stronger, if that makes sense. Instead of like what we do for, I think that does happen a lot, where you have like the stronger weapons or stronger things and they end up getting nerfed to be similar to a certain thing. Whereas like if we add like more counters that are available to everybody, kind of justifies like, well, okay, well it's a very powerful crit, but like it has a glaring weakness. Thanks for the 2. You're looking really cute these days. Thanks for the 2. Was that euro? No, pound. Great British pound. All right, what you got for me, Malimi TS?
I'd like to ask, would you ever, with Bloodwind, either make all of it red or all of it purple? Because it disgusts me to my stomach.
I actually have no clue.
That it's like 50-50.
They should probably be made one or the other, but yeah.
All right. I don't know if this has been spoken about in the stream already, but would you guys ever improve like the ships?
No, we're never improving ships.
Basic.
They're always going to be shit.
All right.
Yeah. Next.
I mean, it's just like compared to Arcane Odyssey.
We just thought that ships were kind of bad anyway, so it's like we're just never gonna buff. We're just never gonna change them.
Right.
No buffs, no quality of life, no reworks. There's gonna be forever shit.
Sure. I don't think I got that much more. Like one small thing.
Go ahead.
So the purple cloud has that thing where like you can only unsheath it momentarily. Would you guys ever consider making it so you unsheath it during the medium weapon mantras?
I mean, you saw what happened with Drifter, right? I feel like it's like what's supposed to kind of like they're like drifting and shit, and you draw and it's like you know.
All right, that's all.
Appreciate you pulling up.
Thank you.
You have a good one.
You too.
Thanks for the 2. Let DJ up. Everyone really loves him. No paying to get up. Come on now, chill. You too, Rune. Okay, no cutting the line. You can just yap to me at any time in VC, okay? You can just tell me in VC. No paying to get up. Thanks for the 5. What's up, Lord Flans? Holy shit, you're still here? My goodness, it's been a minute. Let's get Atlantic Salmon.
Oh, yo, what's good, man?
You just took me out? Good? Not true.
I'm the guy who drew you as like the guy with the patch notes and fan media.
I never saw
Anyway, you never saw it? I swear you did. Anyway, I got a couple of questions. First of all, is Scrap Singer, do you have any plans to change it? Or is there like any like talk about that? Because it's unhealthy for Iron Sing. It makes it look bad.
Why does it look bad? What do you think?
Well, for one, it's a direct buff, and we slander Iron Sing's name in general. And two, the gold doesn't really fit the scrap part. I think it should be more like a rustic metal.
Let me tell you the truth. I'm not recoloring that shit because it's a bitch to recolor. However, what's interesting, I could ask what people think. I've always heard that, but I actually don't know how much people actually like believe that, like on a casual front and a competitive front, where it's just like a straight.
You get it's free pen. It's free pen. There's no reason not to pick it up. Because the one Iron Sing town where you get the weapon, it's not worth it in the end. So most people just go Scrap Singer. And speaking on about like bound contribution you're gonna do to the Operation Health for debooking, like are you gonna take part in that?
Of course.
All right, hell yeah! I'll be excited to see that.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Was it last question? Do you have any references from like other games like Sea of Thieves and Arcane Odyssey for like sea content? Because Debooking's Void Sea and everything is kind of dry.
Yeah, probably just I don't know, just like go Arcane Odyssey does, see what they do well, and maybe try to make it better.
Okay. I'm excited.
I think my biggest thing is when I was playing the Dark Sea.
Yeah.
I was really amped about going and being out on the Dark Sea. The only thing I don't know if this changed. I did like their sea monsters, but when it came to actually fighting the monsters on land, there wasn't a lot of variety. It would be like the big ass monsters. They did a lot of damage, but they would like also use magic. And so I think one thing.
Oh, the Atlanteans, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
there was like
I'm
the
not a big fan of
Harpies.
Arcane Odyssey's combat. Yeah, their combat, it's not very good. I still love the game, but if you had to see exploration and debooking, it's Arcane Odyssey is going to get left in the dust.
Well, I just think like for me, it's just hope to have, I don't know, just more variety. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
Some people prefer that combat. That's fine. But I just think like when I was like, eventually when I was out on the Dark Sea, I kept seeing like I think there was just not enough variety personally, and I felt like that's just a huge part of, I don't know, keeping the exploration feel what's it called? Feel legit,
Feeling alive, yeah. Sometimes I do feel that. I do a lot of Dark Sea runs. It gets kind of repetitive at times. I hope debooking does something that does one step better in the Dark Sea.
What do you think makes it feel repetitive?
Well, once you learn like all like the tricks and tips on the islands and stuff, it's kind of just going in, getting dark seals, getting out, repeating, etc., etc.
I see. So it's like once you kind of learn the methods, would you say? But you would still say it's difficult, though, right?
Oh yeah, there's challenge occasionally,
Okay,
especially
yeah.
with the Krakens and stuff.
Right. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that'd be the most important thing. But repetitive, huh? How much would you say? Like, how many runs would you say you do in the Dark Sea before you think it starts getting repetitive, though?
Let's see, about 5 or 6, and I go pretty deep into the Dark Sea.
We're
This
talking
can
like
vary
there's like
between
an hour long, maybe.
Yeah, like an hour runs each.
It's not bad.
I get like easily like 50 or 60 dark seals. But I mainly go for chests and fighting monsters with your items.
Okay, yeah, like that's 5-6 hours of solid exploration content.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at that. All right, thanks for the 2 from Void. Did you ban me, and is there a chance of unchase? No, I probably did not ban you. I rarely ban people. Is there a chance of unchase? Better pray. Better pray. Chase, nigga? Oof. Yeah, that's rough. Anyway, sorry, continue what you're saying. Oh, no, no.
We're talking about Dark Sea and how long it takes to get boring.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay. But I do, like I said, I do think we can improve on that, though. Like, I think...
I hope to see that.
We do have to strike a good balance, though. I do feel like, you're like on a 40-minute expedition, and then, like, there's a boss you've never seen before, and that motherfucker ends your run. Like, would that feel good?
No, it does not feel good.
Yeah, but you see what I mean, though, right? It's like, no, not even a Kraken, like a boss on land. I feel like
on land boss, yeah.
It's like you're so deep in, but it could also be because I've been playing a lot of Night Rain, and it's like, we would have a good run, and then like we would fucking lose, and it's like, damn. Look, you gonna take a bit to get back.
Yeah, no, it's a fine balance you gotta find.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see, because obviously you want some engaging bosses, but then you also don't want people to like roll over it the first time. But then again, though, I guess you could argue like that is literally deep-oaken. I guess when you first start, it's like
trial and error, yeah.
You're gonna fucking die a couple times. I guess you could even argue it's like, I think as long as there is enough content throughout that 40-minute expedition, then it doesn't feel as bad. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like,
yeah.
If you kind of already ran through all the content, but now it's just like you're just sailing 30 minutes to fight a boss, feels kind of shit. Because like you know what I'm saying, all the in betweens have already. It needs that pacing, very important.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like if you put a boss out on that Moon's Irie place, but it's like it does like 1 trillion damage, can't dodge or anything. It sucks to sail all the way back after going to the depths.
Yeah, like I said, I think the big thing is just making sure that the in-betweens justify.
It's enjoyable but hard. Right. Yeah, you're trying to find that.
You at least want one good, like, damn, this boss is difficult in there. Just gotta make sure it's good.
I think a great example of that is like Enmity. Like, he can still be a threat, at least in Valve Iron.
Yeah, Enmity did push players. Enmity pushed a lot of players, but
it was like the great filter. I loved it.
It was.
I was so excited when I first beat him.
I don't know about great filter. It was a filter. I think, honestly, here's the truth. You could have a really difficult boss, but I think as long as you can do it with your friends and someone can carry, I think it'll be fine. Like you could, I think I'd be able to put a Rat King level boss at the end of a Void Sea if it was like it didn't scale too much with players, and you would have like the homie who could kind of like carry, and it's like easier with
I think friends. The biggest for the Void Sea, like apart from bosses, should be other players though, like plundering your loot and stuff.
30-minute expedition and you get your shit plundered. We'll have to see how we do that. Feel like it's one of those things that are going to be difficult to.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
To tackle. Yeah, we'll have to see. How does it work in Arcane Odyssey, by the way? Do you ever run across other players?
Combat, I have a couple in Dark Sea, but combat is optional. Like, there's a setting to toggle PvP and PvE.
I see.
Yeah. So, like, a lot of the time, you're running around just by yourself, and PvP is, like, very... Like solo. It's kind of solo, yeah. It's good to have friends with you every now and then, but most of the time you see a player, they're just fishing or something, and you ignore them.
I see. Yeah, we got the free will of the player, man. Motherfucker just literally for no reason just murk your shit.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna be one of those people. I love I love doing NCFEs.
I think my biggest thing, I think the only thing that truly plagues Deep and its ability to have people be more okay with shit like that happening is the fact that you can get flooded. I think that's the biggest
Oh yeah, flooding is a problem.
biggest wall, biggest hurdle. Especially when I talk about trying to do PvPvE content. You can't really
yep.
be going in solo or with like a group of 2 or 3 if you're running into 10 niggas, you know what I'm saying? But then again,
Yeah.
Voidsy would probably be like you're with a group of 4. I feel like it feels good if it's like it's you and your boys versus another group of you know what I'm saying, like a good 4v4 fight. You feel
Yeah,
me?
good 4v4,
That
yeah.
that feels great. That's like it's a
But
solid.
I think before you do anything like the Dark Sea, I think you gotta fix ships because ships are like super boring right now, and naval combat just boils down to water fights.
Yeah. I also think I think if anything, Voidsy, like you fall in the water, you're fucked. That's got to be a must.
Oh yeah.
That has to be
Something
a
like
must.
that.
I would hate for like people to like go out on this is the sea-based content. They're supposed to be on ships.
And they just swim.
And then
Yeah.
they get next to each other, they like fall out and they start it's like 4v4 fish fields. Fuck.
Yeah, that would suck. That would suck.
That'd be so ass.
Petra anchors, gluttony, running all like the mobility mantras. Be torturous. Oh yeah, that reminded me. I tried motifing a Petrus, and I swear I saw it in a YouTube video, but you can't. So, did y'all like forget about motifs in
Motifs?
general?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I've already asked about this. I think motifs probably gonna get reworked, and
Okay.
it's gonna be made to where you instead of being able to put another weapon custom crit, it's just gonna be like you can just put the base crit. So essentially, like removing.
Yes,
how
I
it works.
want that. I want base
I think
hammer on Petrus.
I think a lot of people want like the base crit. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was just shit. It was keep it butt. It's just not good right now. It's shit.
Yeah, the idea was there. The execution wasn't there. Yeah.
I mean, even the idea, just think about it, because it's like I'm putting a unique crit that's supposed to be on this one weapon. You know what happened, right? You would just
a
put
lot of people were confused.
You would put the best crit, like especially
On the best weapon.
or not even that. It would be a good crit that was on like Iron Spear. Remember Trident Spear with like on
Oh
Iron?
shit! Yeah. Low weapon builds had Trident Spear crit because it was just so good for
So,
proccing enchants.
Just I think rework it to just get rid of all that and throw in. I think it's like we gotta throw in the towel here. Just make it
base crit. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would work on like every weapon. So if you had like a legendary crit, you can just get like Flare Blade. You'd be able to do like the triple hit, like base crit.
Oh yeah. Yep.
think
It's like I love the Petra. It's like my main weapon, but the crit just makes it so awful to play, in my opinion. Especially because you can parry the second half.
Yeah, I know some motifs can currently do that too, but I think it's like there if it's like disabled on being able to take it out, you can't put in the base crit.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'd say that's a big thing about motifs. Definitely gotta do that. I appreciate you pulling up.
No problem, yeah, no problem, man.
I'll catch you later.
Alright, you too.
Alright, let's get like maybe 3 more folks, max. I hate Agamatsu. Let's get this guy up here.
Yo, Agamatsu.
First off, why do you hate me?
No, I don't hate you, bro. I just want to pick me.
Okay.
So
W
It's
method.
all right, man. The point is, I'm Brazilian, so if you don't understand me, just say okay.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
So I have an idea about a tournamentless having paths too.
Okay.
How like the I don't think works, you know?
You said Iron Sing works?
It's like you have multiple paths to I don't think, right?
You get multiple depth skankers using Iron Sing.
Yeah, but the point is like a tournamentless got like paths to be like you can get a stronger body, like you get a super endurance, I don't know, maybe something like this. But like you are like no speed, I know at all.
So is this a pitch for you trying to rework Iron Sing or no attunement?
No attunement. No attunement.
Okay, so this is like a no attunement idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a path for no attunement. So you can get like the path that you're stronger, like I don't know, you may get some different mantras and other like strong left, you get like two types of strong left, I don't know, maybe two types, strong and left, I don't know, something like this. And like are very squishy, I don't know. Like you can't get imagine you get like two types of pets. You can choose like you getting like the endurance one that you get more health. I don't know. Maybe you are tanky, but you like your movement is slow.
So this would be, and this again, this you're talking about the like a path for no attunement.
Yeah, for no attunement.
Okay, but why does no attunement need a new path?
I think like there's more variety for no attunement, like because everyone use the same thing, like strong left, rapid punches, exhaustion strike. It's the same build.
It feels the same.
Like, there's not different.
So you want more variety in no attunement.
You go. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's old if you was like different patties, like you go first dude, so you get like death for more health, but in the downside you get like less movement speed, you know.
Okay, I'll give you a different response, right? I think those no attunement builds.
All right.
I think and before we go into a path for no attunement, which I feel like would feel a little off. If it's like a path, I feel like it would have to be related to like an attunement or maybe like an oath, like Chorus of Souls. Instead, maybe flesh out a little bit more, have like a more combat focused intelligence or charisma, and so you have a no attunement intelligence build or a no attunement kind of like, you know what I'm saying, we're kind of building more into that, because I feel like a lot of the managers that you can get for no attunement are very early on, and so you kind of have higher invest, like high charisma, high intelligence. That almost in itself is like that would be a new, who the fuck is running, you know, high.
It would be cool.
Charisma,
it would be
no
cool.
attunement.
Not gonna lie.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. Like I really think that everyone runs the same build if you are like no tournament. So like
They do see yeah, there are a lot of similarities, I'll tell you that. But I also think that also is because like their buffs are more directly suited for how like those builds kind of play. Where I feel like intelligence, when it comes to no attunement, the mantras almost kind of age your M1s. Well, depends. If you're going strength, it changes that, but you're more so relying on your M1, so intelligence not doing you too much, charisma's not doing you that much. Willpower, again, usually lower willpower. You're not really going high willpower unless maybe LFT or like a specific sort of build there, like insanity. So I feel like expanding on that, I don't think it's I would agree that it would add variety.
Yeah, like the point is, I know that like everybody that runs a tournament like Flame Charm, you need to spend like 18 points to like the tournament, and the not tournament guy got like 80 more points to put in another another attribute like first touch and strength, you know.
Right.
It's up.
Okay. Anything else you want to discuss?
No.
All right, I appreciate coming up. I'll tell you one thing though, that I was gonna, I thought about this before, and I thought about adding like a charisma mantra. It would basically be not as fast as exhaustion, probably a little slower, but it'd be like a fucking like charged charisma slap. You like slap the fuck out of a motherfucker, right?
Ooh,
you steal their buffs when you land it. I thought about adding something like that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, I'll catch you.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, next we got 2 left. Let's get We Love Nate at the bottom here. What's up?
I got one thing to say only. Please, please buff Wormtooth other than like outside of Silent Heart, please.
It'll probably get a buff.
And
Mind.
if you could, different M1 animations.
Oh, you use like the first light one, right? Or like the Railblade ones?
Oh yeah. I would love to see different M1 animations for it. I love that weapon.
I think in general, there's not a lot of. I think for starters, probably we need to see more hybrid just talents in general. I think there's not many like 50 medium, 60 heavy talents that you can grab. I think there's a lot of room that you can play around there for expanding on those sorts of builds as eventually we add more types of that content.
I think right now, even with the base requirements for the Wormtooth, I don't even think it does more damage than the Curious Blade. Like with max proficiency, which is not good at all.
Yeah. Though I will say though, I also don't think that means like the weapon's like completely not usable. I've seen some people in comp say it's like pretty bad or not very great, but also that like there's a lot of air swing cheese potential, like the crit, for example, like kind of flick and then go back. I don't know. I just think in general it needs instead of like me just directly buffing some of its like stats, right? I think just making the build more reliable without like the weapon itself. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I feel like when you go weapon medium, the main thing is you're getting Wormtooth, right? But there's no talents, there's nothing associated with it.
Right.
So yeah, I'll definitely that will definitely come. When we'll see.
And obviously there will be more like hybrid builds, like light, medium.
Yeah, like probably light,
or
medium, heavy, light, and maybe one day heavy, light, and medium for the classic. You got to get the classic crazy slots build. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Maybe like 50, 50, 50. And it's like, I don't even know what the fuck the weapon would be. I actually have no clue what the weapon would be. Probably some legendary or something like that. I feel like it would be cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I had. This is just about the Wormtooth. That's about it.
All right, appreciate it. All right. Last but not least, let's see who we get. I'm gonna close my eyes. Who we got? Okay, one more. That's a tester. Oh. All right, what you got?
You're very funny. I know you didn't do that shit on purpose.
Complete accent.
Yeah. All
right, let's see.
Anyway,
talking
about. So what?
What you got to say? Could be anything. Layer 3, balance, whatever.
Take inspiration from Fantastic Frontier and how that game like gave you a sense of danger at like all times. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're more so talking about. I think like a really interesting example is I really like the Nightmare Realm. Man, dude, yeah, you really had to watch your fucking back. I will say though, I think like one thing about it is like when you got those like stronger mobs, like dude, they would like fucking 3-tap you though, depending on your build.
Yeah, I know they do. That's
So
where
it's
the
like-
danger comes from, and they're cool looking. So it's like
They are very unique. I mean, it's like it's possible in deep, but I think the bare essential
But-
is no, like because like if you're going up against a mob and the motherfucker, you literally looking for first time it 2-taps you, and it's like, dog, what the fuck?
So, it's a hard game. I signed up for a hard game. Lesson learned.
Bro, I'm just saying in terms of trying to. The idea would be. I'm not saying those monsters could never exist, right? But I think when it comes to trying to ease in that casual player base, right? Which I know sounds contradictory, but we want obviously the majority of people to enjoy the new content that we drop. It would probably be like in a limited sense where it's like, for example, right? This is not necessarily a monster. It would not be like a monster you defeat. I mean, it could be like a challenge monster, but it'd be more so monster you escape from compared to like you fight it and it's like in the depths and it hits you twice and you die. 90% of players are gonna be like, what the fuck? More likely to quit, right? It's just not smart implementation.
Are you talking about like a mob or a boss?
Boss is different. I'm talking about just like a monster.
Yeah, because I don't like need an Iron Sing player to carry me and just two-shot it. That's what's happened now.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I don't want.
I think in general, once we start approaching just like more difficult PvE in main game, because a lot of people do want that too. Don't get it twisted. But it's like you could also it was kind of split where you saw some people who really fucked with like the bosses in Valve Iron. It's like it's good, appropriate. They feel like it feels good to fight and master. But then you still have like some parts of the audience who are like, bro, like I get like 3 taps, I can't do this. Which I mean, you're gonna have that, but I do think it's
Well, who said it has to just 3-tap you? I mean, it could have like
doesn't have
a
to.
move where it hits you a bunch of times, and if you get hit by all of it, then yeah, it's gonna fucking 3-tap you.
Yeah.
But, know what I mean? But yeah, you should also take inspiration from Roblox's map building. Or area building, not map, but area building specifically. For like an island.
Any specific spot?
Like the jungle?
Yeah.
Where you were in the jungle, right?
Yeah.
That fucking place is beautiful to explore. Like I don't need to explain it because you've been there. You can go see it again if you want, but like the ravine part, just the fact that you can go down in layers and just how beautiful it fucking looks. That spot is so cool to explore.
Okay.
If you do it for like an island.
All right, well,
So yeah, Roblox and Fantastic Frontier.
Yeah, Fantastic Frontier, bro, there's definitely gotta be like a fucking, like the final boss from the tower, dude.
Yeah, I know. Are you gonna add like that's Void Tower?
Honestly,
I
I don't even know if it needs to be like Void Tower, 'cause that shit could be layer 3. I think it's like
it seemed like a perfect Void Tower opportunity there.
it does. It depends on how, but Void Tower, that's like I was saying this earlier, how there's like when I was telling people how like I don't think Deep will ever really face an adversity of like, oh, the game's permanently dead, because I think we have like these drops that are just that could be so large. Like there's so many there's never people were asking me this. We're never gonna run out of bosses to do. There's always going to be like a plethora of different bosses that can be added to the game, and people will always come back to fight bosses. Like that's just, especially if it's like Pathfinder.
Well, unless the boss sucks dick, like fucking layer 2. I mean, don't do that shit again.
I mean, Etheron was a good spectacle.
Hell no, it wasn't.
Right, like I said, you gotta think about the casual, the freshies, the jits.
Okay, but it's called Void Sea for a reason.
Well, going forward, yeah, I think we can definitely up the gameplay of the fight itself instead of just like and not feeling so devoid of things to kind of do.
And another idea I had is when for layer 3 you can evolve your weapons where it takes away your stars, so it's like a 4th star, but it like takes away the 3 stars stats, what it gives the weapon, and then it gives it a talent that you can choose.
So would this be kind of like
So
in Night Rain, how there's like there would be, you're saying like a talent slot, if you will.
Yeah, but it takes away the stars in return. The star stats. Like you evolve your weapon. That's the whole point.
Okay. Noted. Oh, hold on. Okay. All right. Appreciate you pulling up. I'll be catch you later. DJ. You know, I'll do a poll. Let this dude DJ up. Because I'm about to go. 4-star system though, huh? I thought he was gonna mention like how in Night Rain you kind of get like you get a weapon, but it has like that random extra like talent onto it. It's not a talent, but you know what I'm talking about, right, chat? It's like, oh, like, you know, you do like 11% more damage when you do an aerial attack. I don't know. I feel like I do. Chat, I have a question. Do y'all feel like something like that still could have a place in Deepwoken? Because it is that is, you know, that is more RNG though. You see what I'm saying, right? You get a weapon, imagine you get the Curse Winner, and it's like you take 5% less damage when you get guard broken. It's like, I mean, it's cool, but it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I think that's why I was talking about it being like, for example, like just you can just pick what you want. Or even better, it could be like instead of like it being like you get a random one, it's like gem socketing for all my people who've, you know, those type of systems. And so it's like you maybe have to go like layer 3, and you have, actually I'm not going to explain further. I think something like that, like tie it to a quest, maybe an item you grab in layer 3. RNG is the less of the problems here, yeah. All right, I guess he won the poll. Oh, sorry for missing this. Thank you for the 50 Canadian. Holy shit, my fault, dude. Something like Valheim's Ashlands, the volcanic southern border of the world, was surrounded by a boiling red ocean and didn't get any easier once you made it to land. Like sign of circumstantial difficulty on top of physical combat. Yeah, like I think there's solid environmental difficulty, man. Just like increasing the stakes, but it's also just like you have tough mechanics and then you just have like tough conditions to deal with. Like, I don't know, like I think Valve Iron, I really think I think the big thing for Valve Iron is the fact that, you know, you did have a lot of people getting pressed by like a tougher trial. But I think it's a lot easier to throw in stuff of that magnitude or even higher into Pathfinder, because truth be told, people will always find the best methods to build for it and learn it through that way, right? And so I think that's almost kind of like the fun people get from PvE is like they find out or they try and get like the next big method to essentially make the boss a lot easier to fight, which I don't think it should be like what it is right now with like Ironsing, where it's like the boss literally you don't have to parry once. I think that's overkill, but I think it's like if it feels like you're a lot stronger because you built properly for a boss, like I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that that feels almost kind of nice, especially when you figure it out yourself. All right, final dude for the day.
Yo, the hustle paid off. Okay. I've got a lot of shit I need to say because you know, people's voice and all that shit, you get me?
Yep.
I want to say first off, it's you know Enmity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I can't lie, getting 5 people for that elite. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like, you know, with a Shrine of Courage, a lot of people, by the way, in waiting room was saying suggest a making, so if you speak with a Shrine of Courage at power 20 or something, you know, like you can solo Enmity, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like it'll be a different version, maybe like 10% off the health packs. It'll be for like true PvE players, you know what I'm trying to say. But a lot of people have been pushing that. A lot of people have been spamming that to me, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my boss to decide that. Corey said it before as well. It was built for raid boss. Even though we have a solo Enmity now, like.
Yeah, you have a solo Enmity and Valve Iron, but Valve Iron it's not for everyone, you know. Yeah. But a lot of people have been suggesting that. That's not my suggestion. That is specifically, I can't find it, but you get a point. Either way, what I'm trying to push first off is all the roll M1s, move stacks.
Yeah, like
shit like the fucking roll M1 mid-air, where like you do the full roll Venom 1. Yo,
yeah, like when you
that
like
shit is the most brains I think. Yeah. In general as well, just roll M1s. It's like when you stack that shit with static fake out, for example, it is horrible to fight against. You know what I mean? You have to like fully predict it, prepare for it. You know what I'm trying to say? It is a really annoying thing to fight. What else? Let's see. Okay, about the speedrunning in what's it called, Layer 2, right? Dust told me to tell you to check the DMs because, you know, he has a lot of suggestions he wants to push, right? And also, it's you know, Soul Chemist, right? Apparently, I did not know this. This is coming from a tester, Ask, right? If you throw potions on someone, it doesn't affect them. And Soul Chemist has been kind of lackluster in my opinion lately as well.
Like when you throw it on the ground.
Maybe it's a if we have all potions on Soul Chemist, it works. But with the fucking new Soul Chemist, if you're making new potions, that shit's lackluster. You know what I mean? Except for health pots. Everything else is whatever, bro. I'll be honest, it's kind of niche. I know you hate Soul Chemist, but I feel like it needs to happen. You get me?
I don't even really hate Alchemist, man. I'm not gonna lie. I said I was gonna give it some love, bruh, and the Alchemist, they like the convenience.
Convenience, that would be nice. Also, what's really pissing me off is, you know when you go into a game, right? You're trying to get your armorers and your smith's alloys out, right? And you have to individually press in it, go back out, go back into bank, press it over and over until you have enough.
Is it still it's still bugged right now?
It's still. I thought. I mean, I never like, you know, really pushed it or like tried to get people to push it because I thought it was gonna get fixed like quick with efficiency, but that's just still in the game. It's annoying. You know. Honestly, I feel like you should just add a slider instead. You know, I feel like it'll be a lot more easier. It's hella suggested as well. So.
Let me see.
But either way, I have a main point. So, you know how Exotic Hide got added a bit ago, right?
I had a bidding war?
No, how Exotic Hides got added a bit ago.
Oh, yeah.
When is it going to get a use? I have 2 Exotic Hide. It's been sitting there. You can't even trade it either for, like, value.
Who knows?
Who knows? No confirmation on that.
No comments. No comments. Wrap it up.
No comments. Alright. Also, whether enchants, I've heard KSU and Shaw and Prof 1's are getting like fucking reworked. But with Metal Enchant, is that getting like a rework in general? Or
It might get a rework. I might give it a rework. I'll see.
Because after Prof 1's gets reverted, I'll be honest, everyone's hopping right back onto Metal instantly.
Maybe. I've heard different things. Some people said chilling. Somebody said heavy blazing. We'll see, I guess.
I mean, even now with these new enchants or with these new enchant buffs, I still see Metal like, you know, dominating that shit, you know?
I guess we'll see.
Oh, what else? I need to go into my... What is it?
Go ahead.
What'd you say?
No, you can go ahead.
Oh, alright. What was it? It was with certain build synergy. So, you know about Grounding Bolt Golden Age, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the chain pull towns, yes. Is that going to get nerfed anytime soon?
Might get nerfed.
Might. I mean, it's banned from Deep League. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yo, that shit's broken as fuck. I went against it in Chime. I've heard other people going against it in Chime. That shit is horrible.
Yeah, it's like insta knockdown. Yeah, probably gonna nerf.
Yeah.
You think about
Alright, that's nice.
I give it.
Also, I remember what's it called? Ages ago, I was in the War Mode Luminant testing for every single match. When is it coming, bro? It seems pretty good, but like when I tested it out, when I was playing in it, I enjoyed it a lot, but I have not seen any news at all on it.
Wait, on what? Sorry?
On the War Mode Luminance.
Oh, PvP.
Seen no news on it.
Yeah, it's because bro, that stuff is not being worked on right now. It's focused on Operation DPLing, bro.
It's not being worked on because I understand this month is like the month of like fixing depoking.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was playing in that, I was in Umbrahan. I'm in Umbrahan, right? everyone in my VC loved playing that game mode, you know?
Oh, it was fun,
And then
right?
I was speaking to other people afterwards, like some of my friends. That shit was hella fun, bro.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, no, the idea was just mainly probably if it does release, probably with layer 3. The idea would be like it would be like, you know, you kind of have, you know, that new spot everyone's going to, and then on top of that, you have like a new way to hop and do some PvP, either that or like 5v5, whatever it is. Just some new like PvP thing you can kind of go do. Bro, you should, like, you know what I'm saying? That should set up people with content for a minute to engage with, you feel me? Only thing about PvP Lumen is like we'd have to like kind of look into like anti-flooding shit, you feel me? It's like a big one. It's kind of
Anti-floods, and I mean, at the same time, you can add a limit to how many like guild mates. So, for example, you could do like
yeah,
5K
but like you
guilds,
know,
but
bro,
you can go with less.
you know how people will be, bro. Like join on 2 different guilds and shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but at the same time, there's only one winner. You know when other people are joining
Yeah,
like
that's
different
true.
guilds, they say nothing's really happening. Maybe if we're worried about like reward boosting, I understand that. But if you're like worried about PvP score boosting, guilds already do that, and it's not the same, bro. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I just think it's worth, you know, maybe adding like a player cap towards it. There's not really much you could do to counteract that, but I definitely think, you know, it should be looked on.
Yeah, no, it's definitely in the back of my mind to fix up one of those. I think the idea is also just like to give it just like a few pieces of unique loot, just so there's like a reason to do it. I think giving like a solid reason to do it on top of it just being fun is like the perfect combo.
Yeah.
But
Also, what you say, sorry?
no, go ahead. I'll give you one more though, because I gotta go. It's 2.
All right, yeah. Cool. My last one, this is my one. You know Whistling Periap Dry? Obviously, it's a good thing, but you know when it procs on shit like for example, think of like max range Rising Shadow or Shadow Roar and a proxy when you hit multiple people. So mid gank, they'll get AP frames for popping a single mantra, right? In a group. I genuinely think like like if you're popping a mantra, it's like maybe the stack should count for 1 person, then you know it should like just fully stop counting for that mantra, or you should just remove it from like it proccing on mantras at all, because that shit is brain dead as fuck, especially when
Big nerd.
I'm fighting in a gank. That shit is ass, bro. It's horrible to go
Make it
against.
only count on M1s. Interesting.
Yeah. Either way, I know you're busy. Last thing is, Void told me to tell you to check his DMs, but that's all from me.
Take a look. I'll catch you later then.
All right. See ya. Thank you.
Oh. Thanks for the 5 Canadian. When we get a Chef Oath, and if not soon, can we expect a different support oath? What happened to Bloodsworn Effigy again? I think it was made. I forgot actually. I don't know. I think it was made and maybe just not released. Chef Oath. I haven't really done a lot for it. I do have the idea of what I would do. It's just not a super high priority. Like I said, yeah, priority for me right now is obviously Operation DPLing, continuing to do PvE buffs, help out with the weapon rework. I've also been doing a lot of like weapon bug fixes and mantra bug fixes. That's been important as well. Which takes a little bit more time than I thought, but just going through those like niche bugs and fixing a lot of them, it's big. And then finally working on bosses in the background, because Pathfinder needs them. You know what I mean? It's like approaching half a year since Titus released. We need some Pathfinder bosses. Yeah. All right. I'll be catching you guys later. Thank you guys so much for pulling up. Hope you guys enjoyed staying and yapping along. Make them like Shogun. Plan is to make them pretty tough. And yeah, thanks for coming up yapping. Some good stuff, man. Some great ideas I heard here. But I think everyone comes to a very similar consensus on most things. Obviously, better C events, more fleshed out, like monsters, bosses, more PvE, more PvP even. Like, yeah, it also has been like a lack of just general new content. So good to see. Glad people fuck with that, and hopefully you guys enjoy the update that will soon happen. Next Saga event for Title 1 might be a bit. Anyway, I'll catch y'all. Peace.